What up, man? Are you good
Cool.
now?
Yeah. Good.
Did Majin send you that?
What?
The don't choke thing? Is that what he said?
No, that was Thanatos. When
Oh,
we were stopping down here, he goes, "Don't choke." I'm like, "What?
Oh
Excuse
my
me?"
god, dude. That he would do
Like,
that. Yeah, that's definitely a swab thing, dude. I did not mean to hop immediately into the game. That's fine. Whatever. I,
um,
I'm gonna. Yeah, I need to share Discord. Don't worry. I'm getting my life together slowly but surely.
no, I was actually gonna ask what cheer you were wanting to do.
I'm cool doing chair 2 again, but it's up to you.
All right, no, that's fine with me. Whatever you would prefer to do is fine.
Yeah, I mean, it gives me practice and all that good stuff. I meant to ask you a question before I started going straight into the cast, but here we are. I need to make sure I get these teams set up right is what I need to do first, because I will screw this up regularly if I don't. And I pulled up their rosters so I wouldn't screw it up. Pie for Flavor is on Full Sail Armada. That's how I remembered it. I saw Pie and I said,
"What was your question?"
What's your thoughts on the Dragons dropping Sam, dude? Yeah.
So unfortunately, I haven't been able to watch the SPL very much in the past few years due to work for the most part, time constraints. But from what I've seen, Sam hasn't been performing the same since like the last time like he performed like how everyone's used to him performing was his first year without Paul.
Yeah.
Those two I think those two had the best synergy since the energy dominant eras. Um, like those 2 years where energy didn't drop a single game to anybody. Like it was that kind of synergy from those two.
Oh, I agree.
But so his first year, like him and Paul separated, they both played great. No doubt about it. No one can argue that. After that, I don't know like if it's just getting like he's put on different teams or just something going on. It could just be the metas too. He hasn't been playing like as strong as he once was. I in no way think he's like worse. I just think the metas haven't favored him, is what it probably is, and especially with the way the maps are working right now with these chalices, it's kind of like it's a weird situation. Um,
Yeah, I think it's like a multifold issue. Like I think what he wants to do as a jungler is not what the team wants to do in their playstyle.
yeah,
And
especially when you see how him and Paul used to play.
yeah,
It is a different play style than what the Dragons have been known for.
well, and they announced who they picked up,
Yeah,
and
I
like,
know it was Scream, and I'm all right. If you want to go with Scream, that's fine.
I have a hot take. I think the Scarabs try to get Elion, but
What?
I don't know. Yeah, I just have a feeling. I don't know. I've heard he has a similar shout calling style to Scream in the sense of like how he calls fights and stuff. So it makes me think that might be the route they go. I don't know. I'm curious to see. That's what I'm most curious about is do they offer Sam a spot or do they go for like an SEC player?
It's hard to say because I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't really want to go into that because
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say I think that's a rough one to agree with. I don't think it's because I don't think Elion's bad. I just think with the Scarab's current standing,
yeah, that's what I'm concerned about. I think it's a hard sell.
Him up.
I think it's a hard sell to get any jungler there.
Well, I don't because Sam's gonna want to stay. So Sam is an easy pickup, but then there's Adapting's tweet about being in the U.S.
Well, it's because he's coming for LAN because his EU SEC team made it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought the same exact thing. I thought the same exact thing.
Like I said, if I can't pay attention much to the SPL, I can't pay much attention to the SEC, so I don't really know who's on what team exactly. I know for the most part who's in it.
Yeah.
I don't know the teams. So, okay.
Yeah.
So if that's the reason, that changes everything up. But I mean,
dude,
Smite Pro Twitter of like the 5 options of who was going over and like find out tomorrow at this time, and then everyone's revealing who it is already. It's like, what's the point of that tweet?
Well, Panda Cat just said it on stream. Like he was just like, "Yeah, we're playing with Scream, dude."
I'm just like, man, look at this tweet of like, you got 5 guesses, and I already knew it was Screamer adapting.
Yeah,
That
it
was
had to
gonna
be. It
tough.
had to be one of the two.
It's nothing against Oath, Kermie, or anyone else on that list.
No,
I just feel like those are the 2 obvious choices.
I
For
could
the
see
J Dragons.
Scarabs going for Oath. To be honest, I could, but I'm curious to see how that goes.
Welcome to the fun.
It's a yes, but no. But yeah, I just think it's just a weird time to be dropping people
I do
with
too.
a tournament coming up.
Yo, Embright,
Like,
thanks for the
wait
sub,
for-
by the way. And
wait
Warren
for
Camp,
the
thanks for the
tur-
follow.
My opinion is that LAN tournament coming up, play that out first.
Happy.
Now, if it's a Warrior, if we're going to be roster locked after that,
I don't think they
then I
were though.
understand. But no, if they're roster locked, why would they be getting rid of
No,
Sam?
but no, I'm saying even like I don't think they will be in the next split.
They
Yeah.
won't be. Well, yeah, and I was going to say because it wouldn't really make sense to roster lock a team for the third split, that leads into the seeding for Worlds.
Yeah.
But keeping that in mind, I think halfway through the split for the third one, you should be roster locked anyways. I don't think you should be allowed to swap before a tournament. I don't think you should be allowed to swap after the tournament. I think halfway through the third split, you're stuck with the team you have. There is no sudden swaps.
That's what I talked about
think
with
that's
Albion
horrible
Giants is
decision-making.
people making we had a team one season that was trying to make moves like that late in the season. I was like, no, dude, like that has to
no,
we had
You have to
have
accept,
roster
you have
lock
to
too.
accept after so much playing time that is your team.
Coach Kurt, thank you for the follow. All right, do we want to hop into picks and bans of?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All
do,
right.
you want me to restart this? Or are we cool with starting from here?
No, we're good. We can pick it up from here. Because we got University of Michigan versus Full Sail Armada for the Summer League set. And left side's going to be Full Sail Armada, right?
No, right side's Full Sail Armada. They have
Right
pie
side's
for
Full-
flavor.
okay, so
yeah,
University of Michigan have picked Freya, Kuzenbo, AMC. They are hovering Lancelot. That just
Lancelot's-
became playable, right?
no.
Oh,
it's
no. Lancelot's currently banned, isn't he?
Yes, he is. They're just
Okay, yeah.
trolling.
Okay, so they're trolling with that. They have banned Robin, Chernobog, Kali, King Arthur, and Mir. First 3, kind of your more typical bans. Aside of Full Sail, they're going to get rid of Kepri, Nemesis, Yu Hong, Daji, and Tsukiyomi. I am actually surprised Daji made it that far through without being picked up. That's insane. She's really good right now. How in the world that took to phase 2 to ban is beyond me. Bakasura and Cthulhu are the last 2 picks for University of Michigan. That is a beyond interesting comp to me. There's
Yeah.
no Fafnir
No,
for that comp?
no. How do you not like Fafnir in that
What?
comp is insane.
You know what? We'll have to see how it works out because, yeah, Fafnir in that comp, I mean, that's the attack speed comp.
Yeah.
Pure
Well, no,
and simple.
I was gonna say I do now. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of Kuzenbo and what he brings to the table. He works great against the Mercury. He works great with the disruption he can cause in a team fight. And looking at their team, you're like, okay, well, like the only thing we have to worry about is a Nox. But like the new Lonos Mass as a starter item makes Nox even more viable than she already was, if not better. And I would get concerned. I think Fafnir here makes way more sense, but the Kuzenbo I do think will fill quite well.
I will. No, this couldn't have been. No, yeah, this was picked after. So Kuzenbo was actually picked in response to Mercury and Chiron.
Yeah.
So, to be fair, with Thorns, Spectral Armor, and Thorns in his kit, against a crit Mercury makes sense. Playing for that. Obviously, on the side of Full Sail Armada, we've got Chiron, Poseidon, Horus, Nox, Mercury. They've already swapped the orders. Unfortunately, we couldn't say it in order, but
Oh, I have
This
I
is-
have an order if you want. I do. I saved it.
this looks like a more standard comp outside of the fact that it's missing a second tank.
Their last 2 picks were Horus and Poseidon. Poseidon,
Yeah,
Horus in that order.
Yeah.
I like this comp in the sense of I'm a huge Nox fan, unlike most of the Smite community. Now
Like Blur.
I have been
Yeah,
attempting to tell people like, hey, what would make her less annoying is like making her to a silence and a blind rather than, or not a silence, making it a blind field instead of a silence. I think that's way more interesting and makes it slightly less frustrating to play against. But I'll never get that through. But I'll keep saying it for fun. Like, imagine you just walk into a mini X-Ball. Like, you can't see, and that's annoying. But you can still auto and cast abilities. I don't know. I think it'd be sick.
Against Nox.
Yeah.
So, you want Nox to be able to blind people.
Yeah.
That is a no. Okay, no, I'm sorry. I'm not all on against Nox either. But no, we don't need her to just like have that much.
I'm just saying. It could be fun. I do like these comps, though. I think the Mercury is going to feel really good with this Chiron. You have an ability-based hunter, and you're like, hey, we're missing some crit. Hey, we pick up Mercury. He can run it down a lane, literally, and then he can bing, boom, bang with crits, and you're going to feel pretty good. You have this Poseidon that's going to give you a lot of control and has great objective secure. I think as a team, this is going to feel great. I am curious to see how Horus gets played here. We've seen Haddix played in solo, obviously. I'm a huge Horus fan. I am all about him seeing more play. He's probably one of my more favorite warriors just because of what he brings to a team. Like, the fact that you can just, like, pick your team up and take them somewhere is super fun. Unless it's the enemy fountain, then you're a troll, and I support that too, but just maybe not in comp. I would say my question mark for Full Sail is Bakasura, because they have a Poseidon now, and that can become very problematic. My question mark for University of Michigan is this Mercury going to be able to get online and cause problems early enough into the game?
Wait, I thought you said Full Sail was on the right.
Full Sail's on the left. They're the ones that have... Wait, I did do it backwards. My bad. Full Sail,
okay.
Question mark is Mercury. Is he going to be able to get online fast enough? University of Michigan, my question mark is Bakasura. I do like both team comps. I think they both have like a play style in mind from these drafts, and that is very identifiable. It just comes down to who's going to be allowed to play their gameplay style.
Yeah, and I just want to add into that because you're mentioning the jungle. So essentially, it sounds like this is going to be a story of what jungler can get ahead in online sooner. My concern here is going to be the late game of University of Michigan. You're talking 3 characters. Like, AMC's got a better mid game. Bakasura and Freya are more late game oriented than they are early to mid. And whereas Full Sail, even though they're missing that extra tank, they do have that good mix of late and early. So it feels like early on they could be the ones holding more control.
I agree. I think that's one thing that they do have to be afraid of. And really, dude, Freya, I don't know. They that buff to Freya did make her slightly more early game. I've laned against her a few times, and like the other day she pressed 2 and I got deleted in 4 autos. So I mean, and that was at like 17 minutes. So I think if Freya's allowed to go unpunished through the early game where she's the weakest, then University of Michigan's, they're feeling great. They're like, cool, I have an unpunished Freya that probably has a lead, and they get to run it down, but we'll just have to see.
We will. So the story so far is going to be which jungler gets online and takes control of the map sooner, or instead of either junglers, will Freya take full control of the game early on? We're going to go ahead and get into game number 1 of University of Michigan versus Full Sail Armada. Find out who can take control in this best of 3, and it will be looking to close out for that 2-0. And already we're going to be loading in here, so this is going to take us a little bit of time, but you've already heard our opinions on both team comps. The question mark here is going to be this Nox, because it's probably in the support because you mentioned Horus solo.
Yeah, I'm assuming. I would hope it. If it's Nox solo, I've been tricked.
I really hope it's not Nox solo because you're going against a Cthulhu.
Yeah, that just feels
I feel like
bad.
Cthulhu bullies Nox. So,
well, I was also gonna say we got thrown for a loop with the Sylvanas jungle the other night, so maybe we get a trip down confusion lane.
Oh yeah, dude, no. I don't want to relive Sylvanas jungle. That was so weird. I mean, it worked game 2, but game 3 was like, what is happening?
Yeah, game 3, once they figured it out, they're allowed to just like shut them down. But it did start off pretty well for them.
All right, well, it does look like it's going to be Nox support and Horus solo. Saw it in the mid lane with the Boombas Spear. So I'm assuming this means we're going to see Dark Aura here moving a lot between the jungle and his lane, doing a lot of free farming. While Proflux probably going to be doing some of his solo farming, keeping away. Probably most likely focusing the side lanes very early. I'm expecting him to gank best of all pretty early on, which would explain Dark Aura with his Boombas, gives him a lot of better. I'm actually surprised his Boombas instead of Eye on Poseidon because of the attack speed he would benefit from.
Yeah, I also think the nerfs to Bumba's hammer make it where are you really wanting to upgrade to that? For mages, I guess that doesn't matter so much. Like they want that extra cooldown. But I do agree, like auto attacks on gonna feel pretty good with that Eye of the Jungle, gives that little bit of extra attack speed.
And already seeing here the difference in clear between Hello and Pies of Doom and Flavor and Saffron already into lane. Almost the same time, but a little bit ahead was going to be University of Michigan dual lane here, and they're just going to try and take advantage, get this wave clear. Conduit Gem on Hello, giving that extra bit of power and damage, and a nice little dash back from the level 2. Pi going to find himself in trouble because not hitting level 2 anytime soon. His silence is good, but that doesn't do much against Freya, who's already activated her stim. Can you put him under half health? But Pi can use that health pot, heal right back up, be able to immediately turn around. So far, University of Michigan's dual lane getting a good amount of pressure over in mid because of the separation of the mid and jungler. This pressure is going to be going up against Eric, and a little bit of a free rotation anywhere they want. Oracle's full Sail Armada will be the first ones to take control.
Yeah, we did see different starts out of the jungles here. We saw Full Sail Armada choose to go to that back camp together before going to wave, whereas University of Michigan was like, hey, we're going to group for wave, then go. So that's what caused that little bit of difference of, hey, we now have pressure, we can go get oracles. And we see the slight aggression back and forth. I think it should even out, but obviously Full Sail Armada does get the benefit of those oracle heartbeats.
They do, and we do see that in the mid lane. It's going to be Brandon hitting level 3. Eric still lagging a little bit behind. Finally does hit level 3 after the mid and jungle of Full Sail Armada have already. And these neutral harpies on this far left-hand side, replacing the Draugr, going to go the way of University of Michigan. Pi looking to get a little bit of a challenge, but understands he's not going to get too much. So Saffron going to try and get an advantage in clearing this wave. But Pies of Doom and Hello just not going to allow them to gain any kind of advantage, pushing the wave back completely, easily, and unchallenged. As a matter of fact, we're going to get an invade here as well. Try and see if they can find anything for free. But this positioning, they're going to have to be careful. It can be stolen away. Saffron and Pi, they're going to come in, but they're not going to try and strip away that jungle farm on their side. So instead, a reset towards the purple buff while the wave is cleared by University of Michigan. And just looking at the play style so far between these two teams, it definitely seems like Michigan are playing a lot more confidently early on.
Yeah, their duo lane is definitely stepping up and saying, come fight us. We don't care. We're at your tier 1. And I would say the mid-jungle Full Sail Armada, though, is playing a little bit more together. And they almost went and looked for a gank there and left before that heartbeat fell. So, like, you can tell it's a difference in duo and then what's happening with mid-jungle. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen once we get to the 3v3 and the supports rotate over to mid. Because that actually might be where we see the identifying marks of, hey, the gameplay style has changed, and maybe University of Michigan's able to go more aggressive there with this Kuzenbo over the Nox, where Nox is going to be good at stopping that engagement and kind of setting up a counter engage. But we'll just have to see once these supports rotate, which should be, I would say, in the next 2 minutes.
Speaking of rotations, over on the right-hand side, we see already Brandon getting a little bit eager towards Proflux, even hitting level 5 first, and be coming back towards the solo lane, where best of all, finding himself very low. Echo doing a lot of damage with the wave, gonna be stepped back, but with Brandon here, first blood, 4 minutes in, we'll go the way of University of Michigan. Easy rotation after the ultimate coming out of best of. And one thing I actually was wanting to bring up right before that was Conduit Gem into either Warlock staff or E staff here, I'm guessing, on a Cthulhu solo.
Yeah, definitely going to be Warlock staff if I had to bet money. I'm not going to bet it against chat like Mifflin does, but I'm pretty sure that's a Warlock staff, and that health and that pin is going to feel pretty good. I've messed with it a little bit on magical solo laners, especially like Guardians. I did it on Jing Chen, and just the amount of extra damage you get to put out, the little bit of pin, the health. It's just overall stats you like in solo. And it feels good as a stacking item to build right in that slot. It's kind of a good bridge item. Now, I also say, like, hey, if you don't know who you're going against in solo, that's another good reason to pick it up, because you're not committing yourself to early physical or magical. But you know you're going against a Horus this game. So it may be a little bit strange not to see that physical defense, but overall, I do not think it's a bad pickup. And for Horus, we see the Golden Blade, of course, which is going to allow wave clear. I'm actually really surprised Echo didn't commit to the kill. I'm assuming comms were coming through that the gank was coming, but I really thought Echo was going to get first blood there, to be fair.
Yeah, it looked like he was, especially when Best of All ulted and came back in. I'm guessing he just didn't think it was worth it if he could get out, but unfortunately, that's not what happened. Meantime, we're going to have a multi-rotation coming over this right side. Best of All doing a good job to bait them in Echo, and Proflux trying to get this Echo even going to go into the ult to take a little bit of damage, but the ultimate from Proflux is actually what's going to find the kill on Best of All and the escape route for him and Echo instead of any further commitment. So Brandon, Pies of Doom, even with the rotation, aren't able to find any picks, evening out the kills for full Sail Armada, finding themselves only down 600 gold with that on their back. So going to be interesting to see how this progresses the rest of the game, because it allows Warlock staff to come online, but it's not going to help with the XP department. As in mid, Brandon trying to get something done, but a nice little silence there from Pi, going to make sure no one else is going to enter in.
Yeah, jumping into a cripple field just doesn't feel good when you're Bakasura. Really, or anybody, but Bakasura specifically, where you're looking to make some things happen as the jungler, jumping into Whirlpool is just a bad time.
And speaking of bad times, Pies of Doom going to push Pi into the wall in front of Eric. Unfortunately, it looks like Eric didn't have the cooldowns up yet, so not going to be able to do anything. They will clear the wave first. One thing to keep in mind here is Eric is half a level to a full level ahead of Dark Aura right now. And so it seems like Dark Aura, the way he's been playing so far, it's been working against staying alive. But unfortunately, the farm and XP not playing in his favor. And with Eric playing aggressively, even with the Kraken coming out just a little off the mark, get some damage, but nothing too serious. Eric just playing confidently up against that wave. I think he very well knows that this matchup's in his favor right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is, and like we said, this is the tails of the junglers right now. Both the junglers are the ones with the kills on the board. And really, like, the things you're wanting to do as the jungler here is you need to come over and punish this AMC. And that's going to get harder and harder to do with as far as the game goes on, because these hives provide so much movement speed. Luckily, it's a Mercury getting to chase him down. That will definitely, err on the side of the Mercury last time I checked. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe AMC decides to go full movement speed on us. I highly doubt that. We do have a fight breaking out in mid, though.
Yep, over in mid, we just saw Pies of Doom use the ultimate to try and get more damage onto Pi in Dark Aura. Unfortunately for him, though, Brandon is going to be the only one who falls in that fight. And over in the dual lane, Saffron is going to solo down Hello, even with the Ring of Hekate, which means this Leather Cowl and Transcendence is just a little bit stronger at the moment power-wise, and he just played that smartly enough with the wave. Just look at this, a full wave under tower and getting to take away the purple buff. Over in mid, though, Eric, with the help of Pies, is going to take down Dark Aura. Proflux, he wants to get up close and personal, but Pies says, I don't think so. Back away into the dash back towards the mid lane to regroup with Pi Flavor. And this is okay. This is gonna get so confusing if I focus on Pi. Both of these two. Holy.
Yeah. So that's what I was gonna ask is which Pi wins the game? Because I didn't even notice that until we got into game that each team had a character.
Neither. They have similar names.
Pies.
Neither of them get a win.
Neither of them get a win. They both lose. Unfortunate.
Everyone else can get a win except these two.
Except these two. What do you think their favorite pies are? That's what we really need to find out. We need to find out what they named themselves with pie. What is their favorite pie?
His name is Pies of Doom, so I'm thinking something a little chaotic that would probably get people upset. Pie flavor, it's probably cherry or apple.
Yeah, Oh, and both pies are supports. That's true. Chat coming in clutch. That's that makes it. I don't know if that makes it better or worse, to be honest. I do want to say, shout out to Saffron for getting that first blood. That's exactly what you need against this Freya. you need to have pressure in the lane, and you cannot relinquish it at any point. Like, your goal is to hit level 20 before her, and just keep the pressure on Hello as long as you possibly can. Right now, you have this almost 2-level lead, and you're wanting to push that, hit 20 first, make the rotations to where the Freya's responding to what you're doing. As soon as you start responding to what Freya's doing, you know you made a mistake in your gameplay.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to make a point up until Proflux decided to go all in here onto Eric. A Kraken going to put Brandon low and give the kill to Dark Aura. Proflux so far, he's charging up the ultimate instead. Thinks otherwise as the root comes out on Pies of Doom, so he's actually going to get away without having to use that. A nice little bit of teamwork there, sets up a free kill. And Proflux actually going to take this opportunity to invade over on the left-hand side, help Saffron out, looking for an opportunity to take Hello out of the picture, but understanding how low they are, going to try and back away. But Pi on the rotation, the flank, is going to get a good bit of damage off, a nice little whoop in the air, off the mark with the Sonic Boom as Proflux. In return, Hello's going to use their ultimate, try and find something, but not enough damage right now. And Saffron with the master shot is going to find the kill onto Hello, putting him down in the ground for a second death.
What a great play by Pie Flavor to just rotate over and really split up the pressure there on that tower to make sure they get the kill. Eric's now in trouble.
Yeah, Eric, I understand you've had pressure. Unfortunately for you, this is a 4-man rotation with what just happened to your team. You guys don't exactly have that much time. It is a Mercury still, so he's going to get cornered into his own spot. As red buff, Saffron's going to be the one who gets a kill for it to become 3-0-0. Now level 13. 11 and a half minutes in the game. Brandon, in return, though, is going to take Proflux down as this fight is kept in an extended. Pi finding themselves in a little bit of an awkward situation, but with best of all here, it's going to get awkward as the ultimate goes up, Saffron goes down, and Dark Aura becomes the next target, but relocating where Pies of Doom focusing on Flavor. They're going to try and do everything they can. Echo here as well. That's going to make things hard for the Kuzenbo support to really do anything under the tower. Instead, they're going to have to disengage. A nice double kill return from University of Michigan and a start on the Gold Fury.
Yeah, this sets them up for a great Gold Fury pool here. Really, they have to worry about Echo. Surprised that Echo decides to push up as far when obviously could ult people in. This does keep the pressure up. We'll see if a steal happens. Yeah, Daddy Dark Aura is on the way with a Kraken, I believe.
He got it! The Whirlpool secured it just in time! Echo is going to go up to the ultimate, make sure he can get out if need be. The last second that Whirlpool came in just in time.
What a great play by Daddy Dark Order, channeling that inner Blaze energy for a steal. I appreciate it. And, you know, I'm always about getting a steal. I do want to spend a second and talk about the build for Saffron. Decides to go from Transcendence into Kin Size very early into the game, which obviously, yes, you want that against a Cthulhu, but you're not fighting Cthulhu that often right now. And I'm really surprised to not see another lifesteal option, maybe an Aussie, or just really any other item in that slot. An early Kin Size is just very, very surprising to me as far as the builds that we see right now. And then we also see Daddy Dark Order or deciding to go for the Warlock Staff as well. We've been seeing that a lot of melee laners. Also has the Doom Orb, really looking to be able to do the chase down on this AMC as Proflux falls with an invade along with Echo on these camps, and I don't think that was worth it.
Giving Eric a double kill, putting him ahead of Dark Aura yet again. Like you said, definitely not worth it. Full Sail Armada, I just want to remind everybody, they are the number 9 seed at the moment, and Michigan being the number 5. It's just unfortunate situation to see there that Full Sail Armada getting a little bit ahead of themselves, going on an invade like that and not considering their position. They just went from Gold Fury Steel to getting some kills, Pyromancer, and then they just kind of start slowly throwing it away. What was a 2K plus lead is now barely a 1,000 gold lead.
Right. And Eric was really brave there. Level 14 has not back to buy the next relic. It literally almost died to a Kraken. Really surprised to not see them maybe chase that a little bit more, knowing that Aegis isn't there. And they had the chance to punish it, because now they have to worry about, hey, there's going to be Bede's Aegis on this AMC to make him even harder to kill and chase down.
To be fair to that point, I think, seeing Pies of Doom show up they haven't probably noticed him ult for a while. So having that in the back pocket, it's going to be hard to kill Eric there, especially with the movement speed he had. Yes, Dark Aura has the Doom Orb and his own movement speed stim, but I do think it would be a reach to say that they would get Eric in that situation if all Pies of Doom has to do is ult, back them both off, and there's not a whole lot you can do. So I think it's just a safe call at that point that they're going with, which I can definitely appreciate in the situation. You know, they got ahead of themselves. The kills are now 7-6. The gold lead has been taken apart. So just going back to playing safe and smart, I think is the right decision, especially knowing Dark Aura is trying to stack.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, it's one of those things I'm surprised where we saw that little bit of aggression from University of Michigan earlier punished, and that opportunity to kind of like, hey, maybe we can force out this Kuzenbo ult while he doesn't have, we know Eric doesn't have relics. If Eric happens to step up, maybe, you know what I mean? I think there's a few options there to try to force some things out. Obviously, the safer play, I'm 100% with. You had like a slight gold lead, go ahead and keep it. Absolutely, and now we see aggression on Proflux again, this time in his own jungle.
Proflux was looking to charge the ultimate just in case he ran into much trouble. Just dashes out instead. Brandon looking to try anything onto Echo. Instead, best of all, just going to do a little bit of farming between the tier 1 and tier 2 onto some lane minions as Pies finds Dark Aura creeping eerily close towards his teammates as Sail Armada looking to make a rotation in to help alleviate this pressure as the blue buff being fought over. Looks like it was secured by Brandon and Eric. And Brandon just kind of melee Echo down to death. But Dark Aura gets a return kill onto best of all. So both solos going to find completely estranged from their teams during the early skirmishes there were. So instead, but over at Dueling to speak of, that tier 1 is down, and Saffron is just pushing Hello down. Already half health off a few autos, level 16 to 13. Oh my goodness, the ultimate comes out, forcing the Aegis going to wait a little bit longer, but also gets the ultimate out of Hello. And Brandon going to try and make a rotation to do anything he can here, but it's just not going to happen. The dash away from Saffron, making it harder to chase him down, and a rotation from full Sail Armada with the Primal Furies spawning here shortly.
Saffron's been playing this duo lane matchup absolutely excellent. I am amazed by the fact that they've been able to just leave Saffron over here, and the lead that's been acquired is as large as it is at almost 3 levels now, along with the tier 1 tower gone, pressuring at a tier 2. This lets them know, hey, we can just leave Saffron on that plateau, 20's coming around the corner, and as soon as that level 20's hit, I expect, full Sail Armada's to be looking for these team fights. Along with that, he did get Silver Branch and another Light Blade. So, lots of pin, lots of health. Like, oh my god, the word just went away. That's okay. Lots of health shred for this Cthulhu. And we also see an early Mirrodin's Rage out of Dark Aura, which is going to feel really good off these Krakens as University of Michigan pulls the Primal Fury.
Even popping the Frenzy, make sure that they will secure it in time, and they do. 18 minutes in, that's the second Gold Fury down, but Echo with the ultimate going to come down. Not on his team, though, so they're not going to get any benefit of a shield. Saffron will take Brandon out of the picture. However, with best of all pushing him down, he's not going to be able to save himself with the ultimate. Dark Aura will take one down in return. It's going to be best of all as he takes Saffron out of the picture. 2 for 1 so far, but here comes the Sonic Boom through 3 members of University of Michigan. He's going to dash away, pulling them further away. Pies of Doom just trying anything he can do on the back end. Eric's using the ultimate as well. That Stinger just trying to get anyone low enough. Echo, it's under half health, but not going to be close enough to anyone. Nice little whoop up in the sky. Pie going to be in trouble. Will go down to Hello as well, giving him his first kill of the game, making this a 3 for 2 overall. Numbers are now respawning in, and looking at this, they finally got some pushback, but not without trades. And University of Michigan, they're down 2 towers now with a Trebuchet free pushing on this right-hand side.
Yeah, University of Michigan obviously gets the Gold Fury there, and they get a couple kills off the back side of it. What actually is probably the saddest thing for full Sail Armada in that fight is the fact that, hold on, as this fight breaks out, we see Pies of Doom fall. Now the aggression in by Brandon, who will get disengaged after a Whirlpool. Is the fact that Saffron was about to reset off the ultimate, and by less than like quarter of a second, Dark Aura gets the kill, and then like right right after Saffron falls. Saffron literally almost reset off the Chiron ult. And if that happens, that fight goes, I think, tremendously differently in Full Sail's favor.
Absolutely, I do have to agree. I think it's just an awkward situation of cooldowns where there, so Dark Aura couldn't throw out his ability before Saffron had to use that last shot. So it sucks, but I do think Full Sail, knowing that they're keeping this lead, especially when they just got a pick onto Positive a little bit later on, putting them back up to 2 kills over. Pyromancer are going to be started here by University of Michigan. Echo is going to just lurk around Proflux on the back end, and they're actually going to drop it, knowing that these guys are showing up with that nice ward over aggressively placed towards Full Sail Armada's side of the mid lane. This is going to allow them to keep things going, but jeez, this push that Saffron is getting, still 3 levels up, and one nice little auto in there to force Divine into another mastery shot, and doing everything he can. And Aegis, oh, this is not good. Using Aegis in that situation, Hello is not in a good situation to be boxing Saffron anymore. This is going to be a little rough. He does have the Bancroft's talent online, but only Demonic Script. A nice swoop, but with waves showing up, that's not going to work. Brandon, however, is going to take out Echo as a fight breaking up over the Fire Giant pit. Best of all, even using the ultimate. They want to get this Pyromancer for free, but Dark Aura is still here. Still has the ultimate, no less. He's going to use the Kraken, but no one's going to stay on the Pyromancer, so it will not fall. Doom trying to get control over Dark Aura. Brandon's going to leap on in, and Dark Aura just using the movement speed stem, the nice blink to get ahead, but the Whirlpool going to keep him away. 1 HP in a dream. Dark Aura will survive, and the remaining members of University of Michigan trying to come in and encroach on this fight to help, unable to find anything off of it. Full Sail Armada doing a good job keeping their mid laner alive.
What a great way to live as Dark Aura. Like, if I'm looking at that health bar as Brandon, I'm upset. Oh no, here they go. Saffron actually makes the rotation, gets a good ult off, obviously does not end up getting the Pyromancer, but does force them off, and this could be a Fire Giant pull.
Could be. We'll have to see, as they're going to go ahead and start. Pie Flavor being the one taking this up at the moment. Does get knocked up, but Brandon is here. So is Eric. A nice little TP in from Best of All. They're going to look to rotate in from the back end. It's at half health. Frenzy's going to get popped. It's upgraded as well. It will get shredded down. Full Sail Armada will secure it. They're going to try and do everything they can to keep them alive and take out anyone they can. Brandon overextending his fight in the wrong enemy's faces. He just has to leap away, and out Saffron will get Best of All, who went aggressive to the back line. And Pie Flavor, so low on health, but confident in the team, will survive for now. Pie's Doom forced into the ultimate, trying to get away, and the Kraken onto Hello. It's not going to last long enough. Hello will fall to the Poseidon mid laner. Pie's Doom is going to get chained by Echo. A double kill for the Poseidon, set up by his solo laner. The tier 1 in mid will fall, and the tier 2 will be sieged.
Yeah, Freya came in, said hello, and then immediately got told goodbye and sent to the gray screen there. Great ultimate in. That Bancroft needs to be upgraded to a Nimble as soon as possible, I think, in order to really start using this power. But Full Sail's running it down mid lane. They have a wave. They're going to back off. And now they have plenty of gold to spend, as I think they can go get this left tower and maybe summon right too if they choose. But they're looking at this left side, and they're looking at Oni Fury, which is going to provide them a ton of pressure in the lanes after getting that Fire Giant off of a very close secure against the Best of All.
And it's just a good thing when you have a Mercury and a Poseidon, especially with the Chiron that's so far ahead. Just easy secure there at that point, and not much of a challenge, especially with the lack of objective secure coming out of University of Michigan. I want to remind everybody, this is the number 9 seed currently in the lead against the number 5 seed. So this is an upset set situation if they can pull out the victory here. And Blaze, this kind of comes back to that concern of University of Michigan. It's more of that late game comp, and they're struggling to hit. They're getting there, but gold wise, they're really struggling to get what they need.
Yeah, I mean, and I talked about it early, like, yeah, you have a Bakasura, but this Chiron's going unpunished. You know, 5, 2, and 3. Chiron's feeling great with that track record when you see that Freya's 1, 3, and 1. And now they're diving Freya under a tier 2 and get the ultimate out.
They did use 2 ultimates, but Hello used Aegis and the ultimate to get away. The tier 2 on this left-hand side will fall. Doom gonna throw out his little Kappa buddy. try and slow them down. It's not going to do much. There's too much damage on their side. Fire Giant still around their belts. And the teleport in to the left-hand Phoenix from Best of All to regaining his join his team. Saffron will be the first one to get a kill. But Brandon leaping on in will take Saffron out of the picture. Best of All going to go up into the ultimate, become their nightmare as best he can. But no one is afraid of this nightmare as they are shredding the Best of All apart. He has to fully retreat to his Phoenix and still is low enough to fall. But the dash away will secure some safety with the Trebuchet stepping on out of the Phoenix line. Full Sail Armada are going to focus taking that out of the picture and then rotating over towards mid possibly as Brandon, he's on the map clearing these Fire Giant minions, but he's going to leap over the wall to get to his speed buff. Will find himself a little bit safer there. And with Oni minions pushing this tier 2 on the right side, that may be the next call for Full Sail Armada.
Yeah, I think the goal is get these towers off the map. You already got a Phoenix exposed. Literally getting the maximum value out of this Fire Giant by getting all the tier, rest of the tier 1s, the tier 2s off the map. You even got a Phoenix. You can't ask for much better besides just winning the game off of it. The gold lead now is at, almost exactly 5,000. You still have Fire Giant for a little bit longer on everybody except for Saffron. You're feeling really good about the backs that you're going to have and the gold you're going to spend on these builds. As we finally see Saffron, by the way, get lifesteal in the form of Aussie and upgrades into that Hunter's Cowl. This is a public service announcement that if you're a hunter and you're ability-based, that Leader's Cowl is pretty sick. Just throwing it out there as like pause comes through.
Gonna have to wait and see if there's any issues with connection or anything. This pause, or if maybe we're hitting stasis mode. I don't see that popping up, but you never know.
I can see if I can fast forward a little bit too.
Yeah, let's see if we can speed on through this. But in the meantime, Full Sail Armada have been doing a really good job since really I'd say the 15 to 16 minute mark. It just took a couple fights and all of a sudden they had the lead. The lead was taken away. It is Eric that DC'd, by the way, so we're waiting on him to get back in. But then it took just one more fight. And then they just have taken control of the game since then. They've been doing a really good job with this comp. University of Michigan, Blaze, they have a way in, but they need to focus on it. And what are you expecting to see for them to be able to fight back into this?
I think if they want back into this game, it comes down to grouping as 5 and playing Protect the Freya. I mean, I think that's what it comes down to. Freya has so much damage that she can do if left unchecked. So you need to get AMC relevant in that fight where you get the bees and the honey spread out, slow them down, allow Freya to come in and just start throwing autos out. And if you're really, really lucky, Brandon gets to jump in, not into a whirlpool, throw down his ultimate and let those minions do work. I mean, I think it really comes down to the front line giving enough space to these carries to live. But we see right now, I mean, there's double kins built for the Full Sail Armada just for this Cthulhu. They're shredding through him. Pies of Doom's only level 15. They're shredding through him as well. And that's what it really comes down to. Full Sail Armada has done very well by not only stripping away some objectives, stealing some objectives, but keeping the map state even and finally building a lead off of it. And now we see the next Fire Giant come up, and University of Michigan holds the pit. They're looking to stay aggressive here and try to get a pick before pulling this Fire Giant, but they do need to worry about their mid-lane Phoenix.
They do, and that's exactly what Eric's going to deal with is those fire minion waves, the last one over in mid. They don't want that to freely push down that mid Phoenix, so they're going to try and regroup off that and make sure this Fire Giant is not taken for free by Full Sail Armada. They're looking at a 4K deficit now, but they do still have to play care for Primal Fury. Going to be spawning up here soon as well. Something both teams may be able to look forward to if this becomes too much of a stalemate in terms of the Fire Giant pit dance. And they're kind of just going back and forth. And one thing I do want to touch on is only Kinsai coming out of University of Michigan, surprisingly, is off of Brandon in terms of focusing Echo, which Eric, yes, he's going to pen build, but I would have expected something a little bit closer to something like that from him, especially with no lifesteal, as the fight will finally break out. Hello will be the first one to find a kill on Echo. Dark Aura will take Best of All, just the ultimate in front of 4. Oh, and Pies, Hello, and Brandon all very low. Have to be extremely careful. Proflux on the back end, looking to hunt down the support of University of Michigan. See if he can find a kill. He will, after a blink, manage to do so. Still holding on to that Sonic Boom, charging it up. Maybe he can find the right ultimate to set up a kill or two here. But with the back away from the remaining members of the University of Michigan, that's not going to happen. And full Sail Armada, they're kind of looking at this Fire Giant, but they don't really have the ability to do it, in my opinion, right now. You've only got your Nox here. As Brandon goes in onto Saffron and just a couple autos, and he's leaping on out.
Yeah, what a great play by Saffron there to get the knockback just to push Brandon away, force him out, because if Brandon stays, he dies. I do want to talk about this Cthulhu going up to Descent of Madness and literally just getting deleted. I don't know if I've seen a Cthulhu die that fast, ever. Into ult, like ults and then dies. It was almost immediate. It did give enough space for Hello to pick up a kill, but they are hard focusing this Cthulhu when the dive happens. And that's a scary time. They have to, I think Kuzenbo has to be able to come in here and maybe be the front line while Cthulhu deals with the, peeling for the back line. I think that's what probably has to happen. At least that dissuades them with the thorns. You know what I mean? But that's the only thing I can think of at this point as far as what are you wanting to switch about your team fight. We know that at best of all, ults into Chiron, he's just going to get ripped away along with the Mercury on the enemy team.
And one thing to point out, there are no thorns or spectral armor pickups so far from the University of Michigan, even though this is a crit Mercury on the side of full Sail Armada. University of Michigan looking for opportunities of coming in there from Hello, but there was no target nearby. I don't even think Michigan dancing on a bunch of wards. Best of all, going to go in with Brandon looking for Echo, but Echo able to find a way out towards the team. And this just looks like an ultimate or two being used with absolutely no return. Full Sail Armada keeping their distance from University of Michigan's solo laner. They're just hacking away. Echo, however, is looking for the ultimate. Bring the entire team down on two, but Pies of Doom uses the ult to split them up immediately. Eric gets aggressed on by Proflux, who will find the kill. Best of all will be taken down by Dark Aura, and suddenly the remaining members of the University of Michigan having to turn tail and run. Pies of Doom falling too low to be able to provide any tank for his teammates. And now the Fire Giant that has turned into the EFG is being sieged. The Frenzy will be popped and goes down. The Fire Giant, they now have the enhanced FG on their belts. Primal Fury is up. Not sure that's the target they want. But either way, they have the ability to push these Phoenixes down with two members down for 25 seconds.
Yeah, they definitely go after this mid lane automatically. That was just a great turnaround by Echo. We saw University of Michigan. They get Best of All to ult up. They're like, oh, hey, he's going to come in front line. Really, they let Pies of Doom front line. And that was a great way to start the fight, but the fight ended with full Sail Armada picking up a few kills and the Fire Giant and now getting to take away these Phoenixes. And this becomes a scary time for University of Michigan if they want to have a chance to stay in the game, as Echo's ulting away and going to right lane as this Horus, and they're going to strip away all the Phoenixes.
Good use of the ultimate there, but best of all uses the teleport to get in there before they can get on it. He's going to also use the ultimate to try to keep splitting them apart, but he's too far away from his team. He's getting shredded down, still under half health, even going further down, nearly falling. Full Sail Armada not backing off too far, using the CFG to heal himself up the best they can. Echo will blink in, secure a little CC onto Hello. Krista Beads, Aegis scouting out, and here comes the ultimate from Saffron. Even going to use the mastery shot to try and provide a little more damage, but using the ultimate, Hello will get back to the fountain. Even with those hitting, will not finish them off. So instead, after getting all three Phoenixes, Full Sail Armada, they're going to back off, claim as much as they can in the jungle, make sure there's not enough gold on the map for Michigan. And they're going to be looking to close this one out soon with this EFG.
Yeah, lanes are pushing in left and right. They obviously stopped the bleeding a little bit in mid, but now you have, full builds coming online for Full Sail Armada, finishing out builds on Proflux with a Envenom Deathbringer. We see Odibo with Saffron. I think this is just looking very scary. I don't know that they can defend against three Phoenixes down, Fire Minions on the way, and pretty much full builds on everybody. As next, they're stopping to pick up Primal, but I'm not even sure they need to do that. They could just push the waves.
They may not be doing that. Looks like they just wanted to finish off the challenges for their trebuchet. But I don't know if they're even going to send anyone to back to get it pushing up the lane. It looks like it may just be a backup in case this does not work. Look at the positioning. University of Michigan, they're trying to find a way. They're maybe possibly setting up a pinch, but Brandon takes 2 ultimates, the Sonic Boom and the Kraken Proflux will take him out of the picture. University of Michigan turning tail. They cannot afford to fight too far up. Best of all, will use the ultimate just to create some space, quickly come out of it as well. Going back to the fountain to heal up. University of Michigan sends 2, but looking at the positioning, this is kind of the do or die time for game number 1, it seems. Full Sail Armada with that enhanced fire giant do not want to let this opportunity go to waste, but they don't want to take too much Titan damage either. Instead, they're going to allow the fire minions to push up as far as possible. Someone from University of Michigan is going to have to start dealing with these. In go Full Sail Armada as the minions come on in. The Titan is falling low, 3/4 health, falling to half. The frenzy is popped. The Titan is shredded. Eric gets 1, but it doesn't matter. It's not enough. Full Sail Armada will take game number 1.
What a great game by Full Sail Armada. It really looked like early, like, hey, University of Michigan has this aggression. How are we going to deal with that? We slowly progress to mid-game, and Full Sail Armada starts really putting their team comp together. Saffron really gets to just play in dual lane as an ADC and pretty much pop off against this Freya that Hello was playing, and then became, hey, let me rotate into team fights. Let's just win it. And that's basically what happened. I don't know that you let through some of these picks game 2 if you're University of Michigan. I'm mostly looking at, like, I think they dealt with the Mercury okay in those team fights, but obviously late game, Echo was a problem with ultimates, and Saffron was a problem on this Chiron. Like, this Chiron, if you're going to let it through again, then you have to be going over there into dual lane as Brandon to take them down. There's just no way around it.
Yeah, and looking into game number 2, outside of some of these picks, is there anything decision-wise that you want to see, or do you think it's just really going to come down to this pick and ban phase to set up the kind of atmosphere for the second game?
I don't know that. I think really you have to be weary of playing late game. I don't really want to see the Bakasura again for Brandon. Not that I have anything against the Bakasura. I thought he played it very well into this team comp. I just wonder, is there a jungler you could get more utility out of? Because it seems like if they had a little bit more utility, would that have helped them in those fights where you're Bakasura, you want to jump in and kill somebody? Obviously, that's the same thing Mercury's want to do, but it seems like that team comp maybe could have benefited to something like that Daji that got let through round 1, and where you're ripping CC away, you provide a little bit more control, but you still have that potential to solo someone down like Bakasura does. So I would say that's one place I'm looking at. I'm assuming that maybe we don't see the Freya again. It just really didn't get a chance to come online ever. But overall, like, I mean, I thought they played well. Full Sail Armada just literally executed their game plan to near perfection. That's what they wanted to do.
All right, and with that, game number 1 is over. We'll be getting ready for game number 2. In the meantime, I'm going to go get some water.
Sounds like a plan. Also, how's it going, chat? Hello, Kenny. Hello, Vio. Hello, Suave. I think I said hi to Embry area. I'm not sure if I said hi to you. Hello. Thank you all for the new follows. Hope you guys are enjoying. And as always, if you guys ever have questions, feel free to ask. I might be able to. We obviously might not be able to get to them during the cast, but maybe if you have questions during post game, you guys can always feel free to ask. Like, I will do the best to my ability to answer those for you, and make sure everything is going good. But I hope everybody's having a good night. And as I said earlier, it's me and TIH casting this. If you have games you ever want to be casted, I typically solo cast, but TIH has been kind enough to cast me the past couple nights. If you are wanting me to cast your games, you can obviously DM Majin Busha. He sends them to me. If you're not part of Albion Giants League, you can just shoot me a DM. If you need a link to the Discord or you need a link to how to contact me, there's the link tree. Make sure to reach out. I will get back to you as soon as possible. Also, feel free to check out the podcast. We talk about what we're playing each week, what we're doing, gaming news that's going on, new games coming out, other gaming topics. We talk about mental health. If you're Need any mental health help, you should check out Guardians Mental Health. I'm an ambassador for them. You can go to their website, guardiansmentalhealth.org, and you can find a valuable amount of information there where you can find things like, hey, if I need to find someplace to get therapy, there's a therapy locator. You can join their Discord. They have some people that can help you there. You can also apply for a mental health kit. They send those out for free. If you don't want a physical one, you can always download one of the PDF ones. A bunch of great content there, so make sure to check them out. But like I was saying, you ever have games you want to be casted? You have questions, suggestions, all that good stuff. Always feel free to put it in the chat. You can shoot me a DM. I'm not going to get mad. I always love constructive criticism because that's important. It is absolutely important. Oh, man. Alrighty. Are you ready to hop into game 2?
I am absolutely ready.
All right, sick. I appreciate, I always like there to be a password, but I like it when there's not a spectator password. That makes me feel good. It's one less thing for me to worry about. And you know what I appreciate about all these too? The fact that I don't have spectator delay on. Okay. Yes, I hydrated like 5 times, Suave. I hydrate whenever you guys put hydrate in chat. I hydrate even if the camera's off. You want to know what I'm drinking right now, chat? This is like, I found out this is a $25 bag of coffee. I'm not okay with it, but it was given to me by a parent that I teach. I taught their kid last year. It is coffee, but it's roasted with brown sugar and sweet tea.
I'm sorry, you're drinking coffee during the cast?
Heck yeah, dude.
Water is a caster's best friend. What is this slander?
I already drank like 96 ounces of water today. I just wanted some coffee.
I don't. Okay.
To be fair,
maybe that's why you're tripping on your words. You had so much caffeine in you.
Coffee is flavored water.
It is bitter water.
No, this is sweet tea brown sugar coffee though.
Oh, so it's a lot more than just flavored water at that point.
Yeah, like the beans were roasted with sweet tea and brown sugar. Sick.
Yeah. Okay. No wonder you're stumbling on your words there. That's a lot.
It's fine. It's probably also because I ran like a few miles this morning. I'm all over the place, dude.
Oh, man.
Blaze's casting as Cupid? No, dude, I'm not doing that ever.
Blaze's casting as Cupid is the hunters? What?
Yeah, who knows? Are you telling me I'm an annoying small child? I don't like that.
That's a good way to put Cupid as the hunters. I like that. That's a good way to describe that.
Cupid's anti-hunter. I love Cupid, but dude, like, if he got a character remodel, I am done with this anti-caster. I'm looking at picks and bans. I'm over it.
Game number 2, Sail Armada versus University of Michigan. University of Michigan going to be the quarter side again, but it looks like they have someone new in this time around. It looks like Hello must have been a sub. Kano going to be in this time around. And they're going to ban away the Poseidon, Freya, and Kali. Whereas Full Sail, they're going to ban away the Kepri, Yu Wong, and the Nemesis. So Robin going to be the first one locked in. Chernobog, Mercury to follow up. And it looks like Xiblanc and Kukulin may be the next 2 picks, as Xiblanc is still being hovered.
I'm actually surprised to see them pick up their solo lane here when you have Ravana that's such a flex pick. And I think they could have held the coup until round 2. I don't think that would have gotten banned. So I am a little bit surprised to see them pick that up if they had another priority pick in mind. Obviously, I guess they didn't. But I am surprised to not hold that flexibility a little bit with this picks and bans. But we do see that Proflux is going to get to play Mercury again. And we'll see how that goes this time. I think this is a much more aggressive comp already with this Chernobog, who can literally just fly wherever on the map and cause an absolute panic and pick up kills. Chernobog is just awesome, especially when we're talking about with this Mercury and a Nox. You can just drop ship on somebody, and you don't even need the Horus from last game.
I'm going to be honest. It's not surprising to see the Mercury, but at the same time, it is, because Robin, once you use that Sonic Boom, that Robin can just lock you down.
Yeah, I am surprised to see it. I think Proflux played it great game 1, but I'm not sure I picked that into to Ravana. Now, there's like I said earlier, it's a possibility like, okay, maybe it's Ravana solo. That doesn't make me feel any better about picking Mercury.
I really don't think it's solo at this point. You have a Kukulin on the map.
Well, no, I meant like beforehand. Like if you're locking in
beforehand,
yeah. I know there's the potential like when you're looking like, oh, maybe it's Ravana solo, but I still don't think that makes me go, Mercury's what I want here.
Honestly, I would have loved to seen a Neja into the Robin. Just take him off the map.
I'm all
Don't let him play. You do the team fight. When he lands back in, the team fight should be done, and boom, you take him out of the picture.
I love Neja. I think it's such a good pick.
So much fun.
He is the better version of Kumbhakarna. He gets to take people up, crit them, and kill them. Also, we see Horus Band. So Echo will not be playing that again game 2, and was a very relevant in team fights game 1 with that pick.
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, that option to dropship in different situations. I think University of Michigan wised up here and is like, no, we're not going to deal with letting them position wherever they want. We're going to make them have to face us head on. Unless for some reason we see Janus come through, in which case, if he ults, well, either dropship and you're going to know where, but at risk of taking a lot of damage to know where. So to round out the bands, Horus and Aset, Emir and Geb on the side of Full Sail Armada. So we're going to see both teams looking to finish off their drafts, and as Pie Flavor is looking to lock someone in. Blaze, what do you expect to see prioritized here for both teams?
Jing Chen. Jing Chen has to be picked up by one of these teams. I feel like he is such anti-damage, and he controls so much of a team fight with Whirlwind of Wage and Steel. I think it's a huge pickup there. I could also justify like maybe a Ganesha or a Kumbhakarni. I think those are the top 3 for University of Michigan of like what they want to pick up as far as supports go. I think that's what you need. You have this great draft with this Ravana that wants to dive, X-Ball that can just shut the lights off, and then you're looking at this Kukulin that can rage out, brings a bunch of great AoE damage in. This really seems like something that they want. Now, on the side of Full Sail Armada, we see this King Arthur. King Arthur has been good, is a good pick into the Kukulin. Overall, I think it's pretty solid with the rest of their comp. I am concerned about team fights right now for Full Sail Armada and the lack of CC.
Yeah, Nox kind of going to be your big CC provider between the Silence and the Root. Mercury's got his stash. You pick him up, throw him out. A little bit of a delivery service there, but like you said, not the best out of King Arthur unless King Arthur gets multiple ultimates off in a fight. But Ganesh here going to be covered, one of the 3 guys you were talking about, almost like University of Michigan's kind of listening to your ideas in the moment or something. But this is still just a hover at the moment. We do have to see what Eric's going to pick up here for his mid lane, which with the amount of gods available, he's got all kinds of options.
Ganesha and what?
Okay.
The Vulcan? Right. He's taking him to pasta night, baby? No way.
I thought he was going to be thawed for a second, and then he just brought the Vulcan out. I'm like, you know what? I like it. And this is the thing. Vulcan's normally not a pick that you see. He's not that great in the laning phase. He's very slow, no mobility. I like this here just for the fact that you have Ganesh and Ravana controlling the enemy team in these team fights.
Yes, like Ganesha ult is gonna hold them in that nice little square for you. They try to leave it to take a bunch of damage, but you know what you do? You just boom, throw in the rockets or throw in the huge meatballs, whichever you want at this point, and you just do tons and tons of damage. As we see a Tiamat picked up on the other side. Well, that solved some interesting issues, I suppose, where you do get a little bit more CC.
That may have just changed the value of this Vulcan very drastically. Because now, unfortunately for Vulcan, that Tiamat has a little more freedom to be aggressive than other mid lane picks that could have happened here. So, especially the fact that you can hybrid build Dark Tiamat as a mage, burst mage, and a little bit tanky. I don't think this Vulcan's in a good spot anymore. I don't care if you have a Ganesh, Kakul, and Robin with you, unless these guys are controlling everything to where Dark Aura is sitting so far back Eric's not going to have a fun time this game.
Yeah, I mean, I like Vulcan. I am very concerned about what happens in this comp for Eric. I think he is the dive target in every fight because it's not like he's going anywhere fast, and the matchup isn't the greatest for him. So that's concerning. I do say like a lot of the CC we see on the side of Full Sail is single target, so that could play to the benefit of the CC that's being brought by University of Michigan, where they have a little bit more AoE CC, a little bit more like let's hold you down in place. But I think it really comes down to if University of Michigan gets early aggression going, like they did last game, and they can sustain it, then maybe things aren't so bad for Vulcan. But Brandon's going to have to be looking at Dark Aura a lot more often this game, and he was already in mid a lot game one.
And this is going to kind of be the hard one because game one we saw Saffron was in full control of that dual lane and virtually never got ganked.
Yeah.
Game two, I would expecting, especially picking up a Chernobog Saffron, to be getting ganked constantly. But like you said, with having a Vulcan and then a Tiamat matchup, Saffron may end up having a lot more leeway this time around. Granted, this is Kano coming back into play. Hello is not in game number 2. So it could be different matchup here between the two hunters. So we'll have to see how that plays out as well. And Blaze, in order for us to see how this plays out, we're going to have to get into game number 2. Before we do, though,
yeah,
which team are you favoring to take the second one? Do you think this is a 2-0 in favor of First Sail, or do you think University of Michigan takes us to game number 3?
I'm a fan of Vulcan, man. Like, it's not the matchup for him, but like, I'm a Vulcan fan. I can say that. I've played him in ADC a couple times. I believe in the past tonight, but we'll have to see how it pans out. I think it's a scary time for him. I think it really comes down to, can Full Sail Armada punish it enough to put him behind and really make Saffron have to do that 1v1 again? But if University of Michigan punishes Saffron this time around, then that's their way into the game. Saffron really caused a problem in duo, kept Hello behind. Obviously, Hello's not in this game, but kept that ADC so far behind that it was hard for Freya, a late game god, to be relevant in the late game because she didn't have the gold to be relevant. So I think that's where we have to look at it. But I'm leaning towards the fact of I'm a Vulcan fan, so we'll see how that goes.
All right. And both teams looking to set up at their camps. Looks like we may be in a quick pause situation here. Possibly someone may be in the middle of DCing. If not, maybe they're just taking a break.
Just taking a minute.
So while we have the time, take a quick look at builds. We see the Conduit chick coming out of Dark Aura on the Tiamat. Both Soul Laners doing the Bluestone Pendant tier 1 Assault. Junglers, a little bit of different start, but makes sense considering your one's auto attack based, the other is based off of their abilities. And then, I mean, support's honestly the biggest difference between all the builds.
Yep. Sentinels and Mask, which is the same thing we saw last game. And that's we've seen that in the SPL too. These mage supports are just, they have to go this Mask. They have to, in the way they change them, you have to go it early. I do think Sentinels is a good pickup. I think really right now almost every support starter is good except for Warflag. So we don't really ever see that except for maybe in other game modes. But overall, this is the standard starts we see. I am actually surprised to see both hunters go for Death Toll this game, after seeing a Leather Cow last game.
To be fair, these aren't really ability-based hunters as much as they are auto attack. So Leather's Cow, like you said, if you're ability-based, you can favor that into the leaders. But I think both these guys want to go into that Death's Temper.
Yeah, both of these guys are a little bit more mana hungry than last game.
And dual lane, yet again, University of Michigan's dual lane, which is beating out with that early game clear, able to get the lane first, set up a little bit more aggressively than the last. Pies of Doom even going to be able to look closely as Kano still
Oh my god.
dealing with the minion, but hitting that level 2, an immediate knock up, a dash in, but the silence, Kano's not going to be able to really hit too much. They do get Pie Flavor yet again under half health, but just like game number 1, nothing going to come of it as of yet. And these just branched Bolo autos making it hard for Saffron and Pie to really get close to the wave to do any clearing without taking damage themselves. And still, these two just keeping the aggression up the best they can. Gonna strip away the farm from the side of Full Sail again and over mid. Oh, the solo kill. Full Sail Armada solo laner Echo going to take best of all down. And this is during a point where King Arthur is usually not that strong.
Yeah, that's a little bit scary. Luckily, the teleport is online for best of all to get back in and not lose any farm here. So that's going to feel pretty good.
Not just that, but he went straight back into the fight, brought Echo to about half health, and still lowering him. So it looks like he wants to get revenge as quickly as possible, but this health pot being allowed to tick, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Over on the left-hand side, Full Sail Armada is dueling, looking to take these neutral harpies, being contested by Pies of Doom, and he's just kind of standing around trying to auto. Not really going to find what he's looking for. Nice root on Kano, force him to take some damage. The wave, though, Saffron chose to throw some autos at Kano instead of just clearing the wave as priority. So the Full Sail Armada, they're going to be out-cleared here, even with Saffron having the ability to get damage off first onto that wave. And Pies of Doom just missing the knock up there onto Flavors, which probably would have put him into a dangerous situation, but instead, nice little reset to the tier 1 tower. Wave's going to be cleared again, but Full Sail Armada, they're just going to be allowed to get their wave in return.
Yeah, they're really getting to pressure here in this wave. Like, University of Michigan, literally every time a wave comes up, Full Sail Armada has to wait to be able to clear their wave because the University of Michigan wave has already been taken out. Now they're getting to invade. They're pressuring Pie Flavor again, but Dark Aura comes over on a rotation.
And it's a good rotation, but he's going to be meeting Eric and Brandon in the jungle. Nice little leap, going to put him into safety as Saffron and Flavor both having to do what they can to get back. A nice silence to keep Doom from getting any sort of knock up onto Flavor there and keep himself alive. And Brandon going to successfully invade the purple buff. Proflux rotating over. Too little, too late to deal with that. So University of Michigan, they don't get a kill out of it. First blood does go to the Sail laner Full Sail Armada, but they do get an invade and find themselves nearly 200 gold ahead as a result.
Great blink in here by Brandon, looking for Dark Aura. Nothing's going to come of it, but this is more aggression than we saw game 1 across the board from University of Michigan. That's more people we saw in duo lane in the first 3.5 minutes than we saw all of game 1. For the junglers to rotate over, and even the mids.
It is, and one thing to keep an eye on, that gold bonus to Echo allowed him to back and get sovereignty at a pretty good rate. So he's constantly healing up without having pots anymore. And best of all, still holding on to 1 health pot, finally going to use it, try and get himself up to full health. Proflog's going to rotate over, go ahead and do the totem coup, give his team a little bit of bonus gold and help at the tower lines. Echo just dancing around as Proflux. Gonna get a nice ward onto the blue buff of best of all. Just keep an eye on it for a free invade at any point if they can. Dark Aura and mid gonna be met by Brandon, but he's just gonna rotate through. Whereas we see Eric is doing the green buff on his own. Want to get some free farm out there while the mid's being done. Looked like he may have been trying to get himself positioned to do red, but unfortunately he's got a wave to clear, so he's going to come back to this. In the meantime, left-hand side of the map, Saffron went up into the alt, came back down, so he may have been looking for an opportunity to rotate over to best of all and been called off.
I think it was just to check, hey, could they invade? Like, I think it was literally, hey, let's check and make sure there's no jungle's not over here to secure their blue, so we can invade. That was actually really smart, as you know, hey, Saffron this game has been having to play under tower anyway. Let me just ult real quick, find out, can you guys get a blue invade? Cool, you guys can. Get that XP, get that blue buff away. Not that it really matters to Kukulin a lot, but, like, at least it's down and gives them some type of aggression on the map. Where right now, University of Michigan's been really just running the map, putting pressure everywhere they can. It's only a 200 gold lead from right now, but it's enough pressure in general, as Echo misses the ult, and so does best of all misses a giant circle.
Over on the left-hand side, Direct Pillars is going to be used. Kano getting some damage out into Flavor. Finds himself in trouble. The knockup is good. Uses silence, but Brandon with the Mystic Rush over the wall will take Flavor out of the picture. Getting the first kill here for University of Michigan and keeping things pretty much tied in terms of gold. But look at where Proflux is deep in the jungle of University of Michigan, even able to start claiming some of their chalice. Is in the meantime going through the fog. This situation, he's actually gonna, oh, he may have bet best of all. I guess he best of all saw him, decides to back off. He's gonna go back to that totem of Ku. In the meantime, Brandon gonna rotate through, clear out his jungle the best he can. Eric and Dark Aura, both of them about even in levels, just having to find ways to fight off. And unfortunately for Eric, that tornado there is gonna force him away from the wave. With Brandon coming up, Pie Flavor around the corner, he's gonna have to be careful. He may be in a situation to fight, but going to be hard to do so. He's going to go on to Proflux. Proflux falling under to half health, but it is not going to be chased out. Best of all, though, he's on a rotation after hitting the rage transformation. He's trying to find anything to dash. The silence, though, root. He's not going to get anything for a nice ultimate, but nothing still for that.
Did he not get damage on that ultimate ire? Are we 2 for 2 on non-damage? Did he?
Yeah, he hit Flavor.
I don't know.
I saw the health bar drop. I was paying attention to that one. I was like, is Flavor going to be just out of range on this one?
I thought so.
I saw a little chunk of health go. I was like, okay.
Okay. I was about to be like, there's no way. That's actually one of my favorite things that Majin Bush's ever done while I was watching a setback was him blinking in his Kerberos and missing his ultimate.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one a few times.
So I was like, no way. We do see aggression over here by Kano in this duo lane, though, and this is not something we saw last game from Hello.
No, and Pie Flavor was trying to slow his aggression down by coming over, but Kano just unafraid still with those branching polos, able to get damage off onto Saffron, putting him under half health. Going to go to 8, but going to have to rotate safely around, but look who's coming up. It's going to be Brandon, looking for another invade on the purple buff, but he sees red. He's going to try and go in, but the silence root combo is good. But that shield from the passive, Brandon's not going to take enough damage from that combo to really scare him. So the invade will be good. Kano getting the purple buff onto him. And in the meantime, Pie and Saffron just going to have to go back to the tower, finish off that wave. And just this pressure all across the board for Michigan is a lot different from the previous game. Eric, though, oh, that's a pre-beats. That's not a good sign. Eric's being aggressed on, but he's able to get under tower in time. Dark Pillars comes out. The turret placement is good. A mini ult from Proflux really gets him any distance, so Brandon gets the finish. And even though Eric does end up wasting the ultimate as a result, it is still a good kill for University of Michigan.
Yeah, Eric had to throw out the double tap just to make sure he was dead. Really send that message of we're making sure, just in case you decide to get a little cheeky and get out somehow. But really, University of Michigan, we saw the aggression in duo lane last game, but this is aggression across the entire map. This is not the same way they played game 1. And part of it is they're not having so many gods that are late game. They have a little bit more of an early game comp. I am surprised that Eric's getting to play as far up as he's been able to play thus far. But really, this is all going in University of Michigan's way, besides the fact that the gold lead has shrunk a smidge. Full Sail had it for a little bit, 200 in their favor, but now it's slightly back in University of Michigan's favor. The one thing I did want to point out is we do see a difference in Hunter builds, where we see Kano going for this Transcendence, very typical on Xbalanque, while this Chernobog is going for the Devos, which you want to stack, get that online, and that's going to feel pretty good. Mid lane, we also see Eric going for Doom Orb, wants to be speedy on this Vulcan, really make up for the fact of he's one of the most immobile mages. And then for Tiamat, we see, hey, I'm going to go this Warlock Staff, get a bunch of health, really use my passive to my advantage.
Pie Flavor come on the left-hand side. Is going to be spotted out by Eric. Root is going to connect. Going to be able to get a little bit of damage off onto Eric, but not enough to really concern him. But Brandon seems to have walked over a ward. This Dark Aura getting some damage off him as he does the neutral Harpies. But look who's made a rotation. It's going to be best of all, and Pie's Doom coming back into the mid. Unfortunately for them, the tier 1 tower is the safe haven for Dark Aura. And Pie Flavor Proflux, though, looking for invade opportunities, isn't really finding anything, so he's going to dash past the wave. See if he can find anything, meet a solo laner over on this right-hand side. Instead, it looks like full Sail Armada kind of just across the board looking for invades or backing. They're not really looking for any kind of a fight. Left-hand side, Kano is going to be able to push up and get some farm, but over in the solo lane, it's going to be a little bit of a gank opportunity set up here for Proflux. Echo going aggressive well, but the rage transformation comes through, a nice dash. Echo almost getting pushed into the tower line, the ultimate as well. And instead, it's going to be a back off from full sail with Brandon rotating in, though. It may be another story. No, he's actually going to go for the totem of coup. Both supports going to rotate towards this as well. This may turn into a bigger brawl than what was actually expected. Both teams seeming try and find that opportunity as Flavors meeting two. And Brandon decides he doesn't want to go for the kill. He's actually going to go away.
I'm really surprised because so far Brandon's been playing very aggressive and going in anytime he sees a chance or possible opportunity. Even if it's like maybe a 5% chance of getting a kill, he's gone in and like, hey, I'm going to punish them for stepping up. And in that instance, there must have been something calm-wise as like, hey, we're just poking at him. Do not go in. As we do see, Dual Lane is still just boxing it out. They've been doing this for the past several minutes while that whole fight went on in right. As we saw Saffron ult in and just fight Kano face to face.
New skirmish breaking out in mid. Nothing coming of it just yet. Dharmic Pillars will be used. Oh, and Doom's actually going to go in. Brandon with the Mystic Rush will finish Dark Aura off. High Flavor falling solo. Eric hitting the ultimate in just such a low amount of health. Will back to safety. No one even going to try and get the ranged kill. Wow. Talk about a sudden turn of events. What looked like it was going to be safety under tier 1 for the mid laner turns into death and near death for the sport as well. But Flux, in the meantime, has been taking every opportunity during this fight. Instead of helping anyone, is just looking for invade after invade.
I just want to say, what a great interaction between Pies of Doom getting the Dharmic Pillars off and then the knockup by Meatball into the dash by Pies of Doom. Like that whole situation to take out Dark Aura was just perfectly executed, really giving no chance to be able to walk away.
You can look at the second item that Aura has decided to go immediately upgrading the Bancroft's Talon into the split.
Really like Bancroft's Claw, and I have been a person that builds it way too early in games, and I think that's probably the case here, as this is a little bit too early. But look at this. University of Michigan pulls Gold Fury and is going to get it for absolutely free.
Looks like this may have been a call of, we don't think they're doing it because the Vulcan backed, but with best of all his rotations, like you said, he got the zone 2 for free. No rotation from the solo or jungler. Instead, they're going to try and answer back by doing the Pyromancer, but they started it up late. However, nobody from University of Michigan is even going to face check the Pyromancer, so that gold is back almost. It's about 1,000 gold difference right now, and that a lot of that being from the kills, but I am amazed no one from Michigan even checked that.
Yeah, I'm surprised. And the reason they went for gold is they knew Saffron had ulted. He couldn't ult back in to try to steal it away. So they get that Gold Fury. And the rotation that was happening there made it seem like they were going to go in. As we see Brandon dive Dark Aura here, and they're really trying to push this out. Fighting under a tier 2 while the tier 1's still up. They did get Pie Flavor. They looked for more, but were not able to find it.
It looks like Eric was able to finish the kill off with his ultimate and steal the red buff away at the same time. So University of Michigan getting kill and stripping away the farm of Dark Aura. Looks like they're finding a lot of value out of these last few decisions that they've been able to make. In the dual lane, Kano still even in levels of Saffron, not able to find any kind of an advantage in the fight. We just saw they were kind of poking each other there. Kano, the one who had to run away, is solo lane and try and go into another poke fight. But Saffron this time taking the brunt of the damage, almost falling to half health. And this time around, we're only 5 kills at 15 minutes. It seems to be a much slower paced game for both these teams.
It feels slower pace, but if you think about how much aggression and fights have gone on the map, I feel like we've had way more fights this game so far. Just as far as like these 3v3s and team fights, as we see Pie Flavor rotating in for Kano, gets the silence off, gets the root off, and they're looking for something here. They should be able to finish this off, and they do. Kano finally falls, and this is going to give some pressure back to Saffron in a much needed way, as this duo lane has been going in favor. Who is he going to, or is he just... He's going to nobody. I was like, where is he going? He's going nowhere. He's just going to attack the tower. But we do see, you know, solo laners staying over there, fighting each other, hitting each other a bunch. Echo has not made the rotations that Best of All has made. Best of All is doing a very good job this game about rotating and trying to help with pressure in mid, help pressure for objectives. But the story of the game is Brandon 3-0 at 16 minutes on this Ravana. And we talked about how Mercury might not be a great matchup into it, and so far that has been the case, even though they're even in level.
And Proflux hasn't really been choosing to fight. I mean, looking at this one, the one time he's forced to fight Brandon shredding him apart, forcing the blink out after using the ult as well. So it's going to be a little hard for Proflux to engage anytime soon. One thing I do want to know about Kano's death, it took multiple ults for him to fall there. So it says a lot about how badly they wanted to kill Kano, but also how much it takes to take him down at the moment. I mean, if you're going to burn that many ults into it, you aren't really going to be able to take a team fight anytime soon as a result. So hopefully full Sail Armada keeping that in the back of their minds when they're making these decisions. And Pie Flavor already having the ultimate back online. So we see Paiza Doom going to hold mid down a little bit while his mid laner Eric is doing the red buff all on his own. He's got the turret to help him out. So I'm a little concerned here, actually. Paiza Doom is getting a little aggressive for not having help nearby. Brandon finally making the rotation over, however, is going to go aggressive onto Dark Aura. So Paiza Doom will not find himself in any kind of trouble as a result of that rotation. And Oni Fury going to be spawning here soon as well. I'm sure University of Michigan keeping an eye on that. Going to try and see if they can get it for as free as they did last time.
Yeah, and we know that Full Sail Armada does not have a ward on it. They have wards around, but not on it. The crazy thing to me is how aggressive Kano's willing to play with no ward up by the purple buff. He's just chilling up there, willing to fight. Also, Saffron is ulted what feels like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. And this time he did go towards Kano, but he hasn't rotated into a single fight to cause outnumber and get them a win in a team fight. Like, I mean, that you pick Chernobog because you can rotate to mid and solo unpunished by the enemy ADC in this case, and it's just not happening. I get that there's a chance you lose your tower, but there's a chance you get your mid jungle ahead or even solo, which is super beneficial to the rest of the team, and we just have seen nothing to tell us that the Chernobog wants to leave that lane.
Yeah, it seems it's all been either to go a short distance aggressive on Kano or just a quick up-down for vision across the map. Nothing too, as you said, aggressive to really help anyone across the map, which from what we usually see, that's kind of the point when you play Chernobog, is to be able to rotate across the map. It's similar to playing Apollo, just faster.
Yeah, I mean,
so
that's the whole reason if I pick Chernobog, I'm looking to get aggressive and put pressure in mid or put pressure in solo. Or, hey, they're caught out in the enemy jungle, let me go pressure that. Very rarely am I using it in a defensive method or to invade. This seems very strange.
Ooh, and look at this from Full Sail Armada. They have brought their solo lane over early, over to this Oni Fury, even without anyone setting up, just to lay a trap. And Paiza Doom going to be the one to spring it. Going to use the Dharmic Pillars, actually catches a couple for a little bit of damage as they were caught on that line for a little bit. Mystic Rush going to be used. Pie Flavor falling low. In comes the ultimate from Eric. Not going to really hit for too much, as it's the tanks who take the brunt of that one. Paiza Doom, of course, use the silence to try and get himself out. But best of all, falling below half health, has to leap over felt members of Full Sail Armada. And over in the mid lane, we do see those minions of Tiamat helping push up these waves. So it's going to be something someone's going to have to deal with at some point if this continues to happen, as Proflux decided he's going to go invade. Instead of helping with the fight, Brandon's going to get taken up and thrown back down by Echo. But on the back end of the rotation is Best of All. He's about to hit the Rage Transformation as well. This may cause problem for Echo, and it will, as he finishes off the solo laner of Full Sail Armada. Dark Aura caught in an awkward situation and gets knocked up. A nice little combo there. And Best of All has found his new target. Ultimate's going to be good. Trying to find a little bit more. Maybe taking a little bit too much more than he bargained for. Only if you're under half health. On the back end comes Proflux, though. Best of all, falling low. He's trying to find anything. The sonic boom's good, but it doesn't matter. Michigan already found the Oni Fury. Pie Flavor takes Brandon out of the picture. But again, they have found their objective of solo for jungle, the Oni Fury, the way of Michigan. And even though they lost their tier 1 in the middle of all this, they're going to have pressure across the map.
What a strange play by Proflux to go and invade camps in that situation. I think Oni Fury is obviously much more important, as we finally see Saffron ult in and then immediately disengage to get a free Pyromancer yet again. But I'm just so surprised to see that. We also see this ferocious Executioner picked up on this Mercury, which is going to feel really good in the 1v1s, but I don't think it changes the fact that you're probably not solo fighting this Ravana, who now has Crusher, Hydras, Jotuns, and probably building, I'm assuming, maybe a Stone Cutting or Serrated. Probably Serrated. I don't know. It's very strange to me to make that rotation. I do like what's going on with Eric's build. We have the Doom Orb into the Karen's Coin into Soul Gem. It's going to be feeling really nice, plus you're a little bit speedy. I do like it. I do like it.
Going to be interested to see if he's going to go Soul Reaver into Rod as a Hootie or pick up some other pen item like Spear of Desolation, even just Obshard at this point.
Yeah. I think Obshard would be a good pickup here. We see a little hustle around the Fire Giant pit. Nothing too crazy to talk about. But I'm wondering how this Bancroft's feeling this early on Tiamat. I wonder if that gold could have been spent more elsewhere, like finishing off this book instead. We also see a second ferocious Executioner on this Chernobog. So very interesting to see two of them in this game. I don't think we're going to see Proflux getting the Kins this game. I'm assuming it's going to be Wind Demon into another Deathbringer. But right now, University of Michigan is getting the setup for this Fire Giant fight, and they're looking to pull it sooner rather than later if they can get a pick.
Yeah, and just want to note real quick, while we've been discussing these past couple of things, those Oni waves, with the help, I'm sure, of Kano, just took out a tier 1 and tier 2 on the left-hand side of the map. So, University of Michigan, in a short amount of time, have completely taken control of the map in terms of towers, and the mid-tier 1 is threatened a lot right now because of how low it is on health for full Sail Armada. So they're going to have to keep this in mind. They find themselves down 1,500 gold. And look at where Kano's positioned. Not going to allow anyone to try and finish off this tier 1 on the right-hand side. And now both teams grouping up more aggressively around the Fire Giant areas. Brandon looking to try and get some damage on a Dark Aura. Not going to be able to find anything. But instead, with Echo pushing through, Kano's going to get a good amount of damage off onto him. Pi just going to go through. But the Dharmic Pillar is in a great location. The ultimate coming out, but Echo uses the ultimate to avoid the damage. Best of all goes up, down, comes right back looking for Echo as Pies of Doom falling low, but Kano going full aggressive as Proflux trying to find something on the back end is not going to be successful. And Echo going into Pi there, trying to find escape, getting shredded down. Doesn't matter, Echo for a double kill. Kano, sorry, for a double kill, looking for a third. He will get it. Will he be able to rotate over for a fourth? No, best of all, we'll take Dark Aura out of the picture first. But Saffron will find Brandon. Eric, nice little knock up there for damage. University of Michigan is going to rotate back towards this Fire Giant. And Kano even going to start it up as a teleport coming in from best of all. He's going to come in and try and be the one who tanks this up. But Eric was second one to hit it, so a little awkward. Change the hands on that.
Yeah, I need to talk about the fight before for a second. Once again, we see Saffron ult at the beginning of the fight for Vision and not save the ultimate for any type of engagement that could have happened. Not saying that changed that fight in any way. I'm just very confused by this Chernobog pick if you're not going to ever use it to get aggressive in a team fight. Like, we haven't seen it used a single time to be aggressive and pick up a kill. Every single time has been for Vision or going back to lane, and that's pretty much it. I'm very confused by it. Obviously 2-0-1, so can't be mad about the stat line. But I'm confused about what's the place in team fights if you're not, like, that ultimate is such a great team fight. I don't get it. So that's one thing that I think has to change, is like making sure you have Saffron using that ultimate to engage in these team fights a little bit. Here it is again. Up, down, define for Vision. I mean, like, you're in base. You know where some of them are at. There's no Fire Giant up. what are we looking for? What's the vision for? Is kind of what I'm confused by.
Yeah, and at this point, I mean, we can say you can't be mad at the stat line, but at the same time, you can be. To be fair, it's like you said, he's not really using that ultimate to its full effectiveness, because if he was, that 2-on-1 stat line could be a lot bigger. I mean, we could see, instead of a 2-1-2 Kukulin, this could be an 0-3-1 Kukulin. Who knows, depending on the situation that he decides to use the ultimate to rotate. But I mean, that's the decision that's been made so far. I don't know if it's his teammates asking for him to do these things, or if he's just choosing to do them all on his own. But I would definitely, if I'm full Sail Armada, be looking at this game too and going, why did we never have this Chernobog ult anywhere across the map?
Yeah, it's just strange. Along with that, I mean, like we need to get Proflux involved in the game. Like overall, things that were involved game 1 were Proflux and Saphrion, and like they're not involved right now. We have even Dark Auras for the most part has been held back and allowed to, you know, not play this Tiamat like you want. And I mean, I have to give it to University of Michigan. They came out with a game plan and they've been executing it very well.
They have, and it does feel like Full Sail Armada's playing down compared to game number 1 at this point. Like you said, Proflux, he's absolutely benefiting, because how many times have we seen his teammates in trouble or something happen, a kill goes against him, and he's looking for invade opportunity. Yeah. I don't know if he feels like this is a game he needed to power farm, but if you get Rage, you have to be involved in fights. He's got 1 stack on Rage, and this is the result we're looking at. They're going to have 0 towers across the board. Fire Giant still on 4 members of University of Michigan. To say this is a disappointing game for Full Sail after game number 1, I really feel like it's an understatement at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like, Proflux bought Rage second item. It's 27 minutes into the game. You have to have more than 1 stack on that item. You just have to. There's no way around it. But, I mean, I don't know. I do need 1 second. My son woke up. I'll be right back.
No, that's fine. Well, we're going to continue in with game number 2 while Blaze is away for a little bit. Echo going to kind of come through with his team, see if they can push through. Possibly try and find a way to find a better opportunity for positioning around this Fire Giant when it respawns. So now everyone's going to kind of try and find their farm on the buffs where they can. It looks like the next Trebuchet will likely go the way of University of Michigan on the next Chalice rotation. Whenever these respawn, unless this is just old spectator data from the last rotation, from getting close or not, but it does look like both teams kind of just roaming the map for now. No one's really looking to push anything. Kind of, if it waves too far on their side, they're going to push it up. That's about it. We do see, in terms of builds, Kano just done. The only thing he's got left are some pots, and finish off up. Yeah, the glyph on Deathbringer. Outside of that, though, his whole team, starters upgraded, looking good across the board. Full Sail Armada, they're not. So there's a power spike difference between the two, as a fight's going to break out off Dharmic Pillars being used, and Echo is falling very low, has become the target for the University of Michigan's Proflux. Going to try and deal with Brandon in a one-on-one, but not going to hit any crits due to this low rage. Best of all, we'll find one. Dark Aura will return a kill onto Kano. Brandon will take down Proflux finally. As Doom falling low, but Eric will get Aura in return for an earlier kill. iFlavor trying to find a way out of this. It's a 3-for-1 so far, pushing through the right hand. Phoenix trying to finish off these last 2 kills. Oh, Brandon, that's not what you wanted to happen, and he will fall. His tanks walk out of the Phoenix line at the worst possible moment. They did not have minions nearby. The jungler is punished for it, and what looked like an opportunity to possibly end the game has quickly turned into a we need to get our waves back.
Saffron actually ults in here, keeps them in combat, ends up dying for it, though, and that is unfortunate. But we do see an aggressive ult finally.
Yeah, we do. Unfortunately, it's not the time for it.
Yeah.
3 of your teammates are dead. The 2 of you alive need to make sure there's no push into the Phoenix.
I do want to say, like, I think picking up Saffron there, or not Saffron, picking up Kono there is huge for Full Sail Armada, because it literally halts anything that they want to do. University of Michigan probably had a chance to not only get the deicide there, but walk back and get Fire Giant if Kano is alive. So I think that's a really good pickup by Full Sail Armada. They were able to target select and do well. Again, I'm concerned about poor Proflux, who's trying to 1v1 Brandon and just can't.
Yeah, it's even with Windy, I mean, your crits aren't going to hit as often, and they're not going to be as strong as they could be. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised we didn't see him in the center of that fight with Echo trying to find a kill, or at least an assist on a kill, because he didn't even get an assist on Takano, which is a big deal because I could give him a second stack. In the meantime, University of Michigan, they're going to go ahead and start up this Fire Giant. It is enhanced as we're 31 minutes in the game. We want to be able to get this. Best of all, it's kind of sitting on the line, and it's going to allow that tornado to knock him up from Tiamat. Echo getting locked in place for a little bit, gonna have to back off. This Fire Giant is not being dropped as of yet. Finally is, and with the Raid Transformation coming from Best of All, he's gonna use that onto Echo. Fire Giant being picked back up though, but Brandon will get the kill onto Proflux. Stomach Pillars was used as well, and it's caused huge separation for Full Sail Armada. They are not in a good position for this fight any longer. Saffron gonna use the ultimate, try and escape. Most likely can go on near Brandon, as Brandon takes Darkor out. Never mind, he goes right back down in front of Best of All, and he's going to get locked up and taken out of the picture. Echo now being hunted. Brandon going to be the only one as that, as Eric takes Pie Flavor out, and that is a 4 for none here. And instead of turning for the Fire Giant, the Phoenix, most likely the game as well, will be the call coming in for University of Michigan. This Titan room going to be completely exposed. Brandon finally going to take Echo out of the picture. With minions here, the Phoenix is gone. It will be the Titan. Game number 2, unless Proflux can spawn and get a big deicide play here, game number 2 will go the way of the Wolverines.
What a great play by University of Michigan there. That ultimate by Pies of Doom just absolutely separated that fight and let them run it down. This a great Dharmic Pillars. Obviously, comms at that point are getting scattered. You're like, yo, retreat, we need to get out. And they got out for a few seconds, and then, sorry, you just got deleted. Really great play by University of Michigan. Great bounce back game for them after game 1 did not go in their favor. This was handily in their favor. Really liked the build from Brandon, going this Jotun's Cunning, getting that extra cooldown. Picks up that Serrated we talked about earlier on in the game. Also that Brawler's Beat Stick. Just overall, really doing well. And the perfect Ganesh game, the perfect support game, going 0-0-14 as the support. Has to feel good. Has to.
Absolutely.
Vulcan didn't die.
I mean, if you think about it, as a Ganesh, not dying once with how often you're in the center, that's a fantastic feeling, just because you're like, no matter how far up I was, it never mattered. I could not die, or it was just bait for the enemy team to die. And Blaze, before we go ahead and take a little break before getting into this game number 3, what do you want to see Full Sail Armada do? Because that was a complete 180 from game number 1 from them.
Well, obviously in this case, like the fact Vulcan goes undying is a problem. I like, that's insane. Vulcan's not very mobile. I understand, like, okay, there's like some movement speed items built. Proflux needs to be involved. And I don't think Mercury's the answer at this point. Obviously, it worked game 1. Game 2, they said, no, thank you. We don't want your special deliveries. We didn't order our Amazon packages today. They need to maybe move away from that. I think they need to really consider moving away from so much single target CC. I think that's really hurt them this game. Get Saffron back on a comfort pick. Maybe Chernobog just isn't as comfortable, because Saffron did not go into any fight with that ultimate. I think Proflux, Saffron have to be involved. In that game, they were not allowed to play the way they did game 1. So if they want to win game 3, make sure you get Proflux on something that can go against Brandon. Put Saffron on a pick that he feels comfortable fighting on, because Chernobog just didn't seem it. Other than that, I mean, I thought, Pie Flavor played well, considering maybe put Pie Flavor on an actual tank, get off of this Nox, but the Nox wasn't the problem in my opinion. I thought Dark Aura did okay on this Tiamat. I didn't think it was a bad pick. But overall, I mean, like, University of Michigan came out and were like, nah, we're winning game 2. So I think it really comes down to getting Proflux on a confidence-building pick along with Saffron. They have to play through those two. They played through those two game 1. They popped off. Game 2, not so much the case.
All right. With that, I'm going to go grab more water.
Sounds good. I will also drink some water.
Yeah, it's about midnight for me, so it's
My bad. I feel
no,
like
you're
that.
good. You're good. I knew what I was getting into. I just wasn't hoping this would go to a game 3.
Oh goodness. I think Majin's out to get me, dude. That's all he sends me is game 3s. Every once in a while he sends me game 2s.
You just gotta tell him no more game 3s, just 2-0s.
Just 2-0s.
It's too late at night for you, and I got other stuff to do. 2-0s only.
Someone to Ducky retweet it, or Ducky tweet it after careful consideration, in no way related to today's event. I will be role swapping to jungle role.
Okay. Fine.
Anyway,
on to game number 3. Full Sail Armada this time is going to take the order side. University of Michigan will be on Chaos. And looks like Full Sail, they're getting rid of that Robin, not wanting Brandon to have that yet again. Kefri going to be taken off the board as well. Chernobog, surprisingly, after how game number 2 went, is going to be taken out of the picture. And so is Mercury. University of Michigan not wanting to deal with either of those two gods for game number 3. Full Sail just working on getting their final ban in for this first phase before looking at their first pick of what they could get. And honestly, they do still have some good options up for taking this first pick. With how the bans have gone, Daji may very well make it through again.
Why did they ban Chernobog? Mercury I can understand, but I didn't think that Cherno did that much.
To be fair, Cherno was banned game number 1.
Oh, okay. Okay. I just think after seeing it.
Yeah, I think it's one of their standard bans. It's just, I do get your point, is after game number 2, I wouldn't be as afraid of it. However, it could be a situation of if they change the team comp up right, Full Sail may have a little more confidence. Saffron may have a lot more confidence in where he uses those ults.
I'm just thinking, like, I might save that ban for second rounds rather than doing it first rounds. I just feel like there's so many other picks.
Pick it up right away, though.
Yeah, maybe. We do see that Nemesis is immediately locked, along with that Kali.
Yeah, that was very fast. Daji banned away, Yu Huang the final ban. So yeah, we see Nemesis picked up, and then Freya, Kali both immediately picked up. This almost looks like Kano's like, yeah, I know Hello ran this earlier, let me run it now. This may be an interesting one, but Poseidon and Kumba both going to be locked in here for Full Sail, and this is definitely looking like a much more aggressive comp than what they had before. Much more early game comp as well. Nemesis Kumba combo coming out of the jungle and support. Blaze, we may see early game way more action this time around.
We may, and I was really looking forward to that Donzenbura pick, but it looks like it's going to be a Nike instead. I had a full conversation prepped for the Donzenbura, but here we are, and instead it's a Kukulane. All right, well, let's go, dude. Was well played by Best of All game 2, and I feel good about it. I think it's a good pick here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it worked last time. No reason not to do it again. However, this does leave options in the solo lane for Full Sail to kind of think about what they want to do. The King Arthur did work for an early kill. After that, though, kind of just fell off the face of the earth. There were rotations of ganks and whatnot stuff he couldn't help, but I do expect to see a different kind of solo lane this time around. Uller going to be banned out here by University of Michigan. Honestly, if you're playing Freya, take the Uller ban.
Yeah, I think that's a really good ban by them. I'm expecting wow, okay.
Oh, the respect.
Let's go, dude.
I mean, when you have a 4-0-8 Vulcan, this is what you expect to see.
If you have a 408 Vulcan, that man plays anybody. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Like, he is willing to pop on everybody. I do like the Vulcan ban after that second game. You're like, hey, throw a respect ban out as far as like that's just a mid laner we don't want to have to deal with the current comp, because if you have a Kali and a Freya, that Vulcan damage is going to feel pretty good. Though I'm assuming they're probably going to go a traditional like Hunter in the mid here, as they did in the other two games, as they lock in a Horus, which we saw game 1, but game 1 it was a solo pick, and this time it looks to be support.
I actually really like Horus and support with a Freya. This is, I mean, we're talking heals, the CC, the slow, the bailout if needed, the come crashing down to save with the last second health shield. There's plenty of options with a Horus support to really give this Freya a lot of different control options in the dual lane, and especially for aggressiveness plays. I mean, it feels like they're reacting to the Kumbas. We're gonna make you null and void in this game.
Yeah, and this is the thing that Kumba struggles with, and is once you get this, you have so much aggression that's towards him.
The force is strong.
That is just insane. And also, they're gonna need another magical damage. It cannot be just Freya. So that's something to talk about. Also, shout out to Boom and his community for raiding us right now. Thank you so much, Boom. Welcome to his community. We are casting, and I'd love to have y'all. Thank you.
Wait, is Boom that YouTube guy?
Yeah. You know, I love Boom. They're all putting honks in chat. The gooses have arrived. The Jing Chen has finally arrived, dude. Let's go.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Geese are a nuisance. Get the geese honks out of here.
Dude.
Those creatures.
Let me tell you a story about geese.
Horribly evil.
When I was 6, I was out feeding the ducks with my mom. And a random goose decided it wasn't happy about me feeding these ducks.
Yeah.
Chad, it chased me down. And it took my shorts. Okay? Still not happy about it. No shot they lock Anubis here.
I'm sorry. Did you just say it took your shorts?
Yep.
Oh my.
Yeah, it took my shorts, dude. So I have had like this like weird like feeling towards geese since then. Maybe you should have fed them. I should have, dude. To where last
Geese are like cats.
They are, dude. No, actually, no. Geese. Hear me out. Geese are snakes with wings, and here's why. I was running last year for cross country practice. Picks and bans are done. Okay, they got a raw. That's good, and it's gonna frag because they picked up Jing, dude. I'm excited. I was running, and there was like 50 geese on this pathway, and I said, I'm gonna run through the geese. This is something I just have to get over. I got to do it. I'm running through the geese.
Horrible idea.
Yeah, it was terrible. There's a lake on either side of this pathway. It was a bad time. But so I'm running through the geese, and all the geese are fine until there's one goose that decides he ain't about it, and he stands up and hold on, I gotta turn my camera back on. I need to make sure this is understood in memento. Okay, this goose chat gets down and is doing this at me with its neck, like all let out, and it's hissing at me. And I just look at it and I'm like, dude,
you got the challenge from a goose.
I said, dude,
oh, bro, what's up?
I'm not.
You flex. You flex.
I said,
up?
I'm not messing with you, man. I'm not here to mess with you. I'm gonna leave you alone. Just let me run through. You leave me alone, I leave you alone. It's a simple thing, easy peasy. And then he slowly backed up, and he sat back down. And I was like, I've become the goose whisperer. Still ain't messing with them, though. Geese are something else, dude. People that... when I have runners, I'll have runners that be like, oh, yeah, I don't need to worry about the geese. Okay. You don't respect the geese and see what happens. Because I know what happens, okay? They don't play. They will come at you. And that's what I have to say about it. I have derailed picks and bans, and I am okay with it. The only thing that would make this better is if Gooseman Gondor was in this game. Okay, that would just be the full selling point of this. Heck yeah, I'll civilly talk to a goose. Have you met a goose, Vio? I don't play. One of my runners once, he's a college football player now. He goes, I'm going to go over to those geese. I said, bro, don't. He walked over and the goose wingspan went like this and they chased him down. No, absolutely not. No.
You know, I think there's only one other bird, like besides geese, that I might have an issue with. There was a I can't think of the name. What the colorful feathered bird?
Peacocks?
Peacock, yes.
Oh yeah.
I
dude.
was at a concealed carry class. These dudes had peacocks out. It starts walking at me. I'm like, dude, take it easy.
No, dude.
Like, let me walk, man. But I have had a goose before because my old job, geese would pass by all the time. This little goose thought he could come up to my car and start pecking. I was like, because he saw his reflection. I'm like, no.
No, dude.
Mm.
Also, hold on. I gotta show chat something just because if you don't know about owls, this is needed to know information.
Oh, dude.
Okay, chat. If you didn't know about owls' legs, let me inform you of what owls' legs look like. These things are chonky, dude. Look at this. All right. Welcome to the educational stream. Look how long their legs are, dude. They're over half their body. Look how chonky his legs are, dude. I don't mess with birds.
All right, so story time. There's actually one time when I was younger, we had a basketball hoop at our house in the driveway, and there were ducks, baby ducks.
Happy.
That I guess I don't know what happened to the mama. But they were under a bush, and this owl knew they were there. We opened the door. Mind you, it is dark outside. There is only a street lamp in the court keeping light, and it is not very bright. Let's just say this owl stared at me, and I'm like 12 or so, and it full spread its wings. I was like, oh no, no, we are not messing. Owls are, if you ever see an owl at night spread its wings full extend at you, that is terrifying.
Duck and run, dude. I'm telling you, I don't mess with birds, okay? Unless it's raw. I'll mess with raw.
No, I'm cool with birds even when they're aggressive, but there are certain ones that an owl at night, nah, dude.
No, absolutely not. I mean, like, I'm not like terrified of birds, but like, I'm not like, I'll see people like, oh, I'm gonna go up and mess with this bird. No, no. I have too much respect for them.
Messing with birds is actually a good way to get your eye poked out. Like a lot of people will just say that because no, birds will actually go up to you if they think you're messing with especially their nest. You are actually at risk of getting your eye like completely poked out.
They don't play. I had a bird when I was a kid that it would call the cat in and then call the dog in. So the dog would attack the cat. Birds are smart, dude. I ain't playing with that. No.
Except pigeons are the only ones I will not include on that smart list. I have no respect for pigeons.
Pigeons are something else, dude. Pigeons.
All they do is crap.
They are on another level. By the way, chat, this is an AGL cast where we talk about birds.
All this because Boom with the raid.
Yeah, shout out to Boom for the raid, dude. On the real. Thanks to Boom's community. If you're hanging out and hanging around, and you don't know who I am Blaze McBain. With me, I have TIH Vengeance casting with me. We've done this a couple times now. This has been super fun. And, you know, I stream Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, Saturdays. Sometimes I cast and mostly play Smite. So anytime you want to come hang out, feel free. Thanks for the follow, White Baking, by the way. We saw University of Michigan pick up this raw. I do think this kind of like fills out their comp. And if I am full sail,
that objective secure.
It does. And if I'm full sail, I'm going, we need anti-heal. Like, it absolutely.
If I do not see Divine Ruin second item from Dark Aura, I'm going to lose my mind.
He's trolling.
I'm going to lose my mind. You have a Xingqian and Kumba, there better be a Pesty. Nemesis, if there's a Divine Ruin early, I'm not worried about the Brawlers until later on, but there's probably be a Brawlers.
Yeah, I mean, like, there has to be anti-heal online for this comp. I think you cannot let this go away. I am a huge fan of this Xingqian. I think Xingqian solo is awesome. Especially you go like the conduit gym start, and you can go to that warlock staff. You can go into, and then you can look at this anti-heal options. I think there's going to be a lot of good things happening here. And I think Cursed Ankh needs to be on somebody. Someone has to buy a Cursed Ankh, upgrade it. I would actually say to upgrade it into the Drowning Ankh, just for this Raw. He has to stay stationary inside this health area. And this might be the first time that I've casted and we see some of the earrings. Besides, I guess we saw Mana Core spikes the other day, but we might see Phase Blessing this time, or whatever. It's is it Phase Hoops or Phase Blessing? I'm not sure which it is.
I'm going to be honest.
Blessing.
As long as Divine Ruin is picked up with a Pesty or Brawlers,
it should be enough.
I don't think there's a need for Cursed Ankh because Eric's heal is asking for a Kraken or a Whirlwind of Rage and Steel to hit everybody in it.
Yeah. Let's hop in and find out what happens. Do you have a team you particularly like with this one as far as the comps are drafted?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're the analyst. I'm supposed to be asking you this. What is happening here?
Yeah, I don't know, because like we have double mage on one side and we have double guardian on the other.
We do. I would say honestly, outside of the Freya, I actually like University of Michigan's comp better than Full Sail's. The reason I'm not a fan of the Freya here is because you have the two guardians that are in the game, and then you got Poseidon and Nemesis backing that up. I'm not too concerned about the G-Ball versus Freya matchup. I'm more concerned about how Full Sail's comp can control the Freya.
Yeah, I really worry about, is Freya going to be allowed to team fight? Because the way their comp's designed, they can take a Freya out of the game very easily. Now, there's a couple exposure spots, right, where like obviously if they play Protect the Ra, Protect the Freya, then if Ra hits a snipe on X-Ball or hits an ult on this Poseidon and it's consistent, that could cause a major problem for Full Sail here. But my as long as they get this healing going and they can protect that Freya, then it's gonna be fine. But we saw what happened to game one, and Saffron really just wanted to punch it down on Freya. Like literally just run it down, do as much as he could to make sure Freya was not allowed to play a game.
And we do have to keep in mind, game number one was a different player on Freya. So we may be seeing something different here. But because Freya, still, early clear conduit jump, pretty good.
Yeah. I do think maybe we see a little bit of a different build this time.
We very well may. I would expect, if they're going to go Bancroft's going to be sooner rather than as late as it was. So as we're getting into game number 3 here, again, University of Michigan is going to be the Chaos side. Order side is going to be Full Sail Armada this time around. And this, just for everyone, if you're just now joining us, this is the AGL Collegiate Division. This is the number 5 seed of University of Michigan versus the number 9 Full Sail Armada. We're tied 1-1 into game number 3. This does have tournament implications. If University of Michigan loses this set, this may affect their positioning. You'd rather be the number 5 seed than run the number 6 seed in this situation. So that is.
This is semifinals.
Oh, this is semifinals.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did the number 9 upset?
I don't know.
I haven't been shown the tournament.
I think it's at least what Majin sent me said semifinals. Dark, or is this semifinals?
We may have to. Yeah, I was gonna say we may have to double confirm some things here. Roosh has been busy lately, so he may have confused a couple things. If this is semis, that means Full Sail Armada has already pulled an upset.
Oh well, I guess we'll find out. Okay, yeah, this is semifinals.
Wow. Upsets have happened in the Collegiate League, and that's what we're here for. But if anyone remembers, the Collegiate days before AGL brought a league in for collegiate players outside of AVGL and whatnot, it was literally the same, so many teams going so far.
It was.
Full Sail Armada and Michigan, both teams have, since the AGL started, improved so much that the usual Illinois or Georgia teams that we're used to seeing be the dominant ones, No, I'm willing to go out there and say any collegiate team that plays in AGL and AVGL has a chance at winning. The AVGL Collegiate Championship that usually that happens during HRX. Any collegiate team has the chance of winning.
According to Dark Aura, the first seed was over 2 hours late to the game, and that's how they won. They got FF'd because of how late they were.
Wow. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
You hate to see that.
Unfortunate, but it looks like Full Sail didn't take they take advantage of it. Like they're playing against the number 5 seed and 1-1 with them. So we'll see how that goes.
Yep, and one thing to note is University of Michigan, already the pressure in the mid lane. We just saw as we were sitting there talking for a little bit, Full Sail Armada's mid and jungle were underneath the tower line, getting wave pushed at them. It's the same story over in dual lane as well. Kano and Paz Doom able to keep the waves pushed up, taking advantage of their early damage with this conduit gem and making sure that Full Sail Armada, there's not a lot they can do about it. Solo lane, a little bit of mixed control, nothing too crazy, but look at Paz Doom going in already, getting the chain onto Flavor, who he's just going up for a quick mez onto Kano. Saffron will get some free poke, but it's not a whole lot of setup. I mean, if it wasn't for the branching bolos, that normally wouldn't give you a lot.
Yeah, this is the third game in a row that University of Michigan's duo lane has had early pressure where they run it down at them. As we see mid lane, some people are out of position. Proflux looked like to be in trouble, but now going back in on Brandon. Brandon now in trouble on this call. He has to get out, but no way out. Gets a great stun here, but ends up getting picked up by Dark Aura.
I think that was a wave just on the edge of the long distance there, managing to pick up Brandon. That's a good first blood, though, coming in for Dark Aura. 500 gold towards his build, and that's happening before the 3-minute mark yet again, putting them about 400 gold ahead as Proflux looking to get an invade on the red buff and will be allowed to do so absolutely free. Eric wanted to go take a look, but with the wave here, isn't going to be able to miss this instead. And this is going to be even, almost more Proflux deciding against, as it looks like his teammates called him off of going for the purple buff. He's actually looping around, seeing if he can possibly find a last second steal here. He's looking for it. As Doom, though, going to zone him away. The Proflux is going to have to dash on out. Just going to head back, spend the gold that they've got, try and see if they can find any opportunity. In the meantime, Doom and Kano back to wave they go. Kano level 4 already. So this is a little bit of a hard situation for Saffron, especially if they try and take any 1v1. As long as that level advantage keeps happening, Freya will be able to continue stacking. Dark Aura falling low, gonna finally back. Most likely gonna miss a wave for this, as well as Eric and Brandon making sure that this is going down pretty quick.
The dual lane, University of Michigan getting aggressive again. I mean, this is just them trying to keep Freya ahead if possible. Let that curve into the late game be more consistent than what was in game 1. But right now, nothing stands out too much besides that first blood and then going to be able to pick up that red as an invade as well. I was also informed that the tournament is basically a Swiss format based due to one team dropping out. And that's how they ended up being 9th for Full Sail Armada, is what I'm being told. But now we see a rotation coming over, and instead they're going to pick up the Oracles instead. And so far, I think Full Sail Armada are playing this very well. Kind of just really, Proflux is involved early, and we said that was something that needed to happen this game, and this Nemesis seems to be doing the trick.
Well, as this aggression comes in from University of Michigan, we're going to see the ult from Pazadu. Kano, just misses the timing. He's left alone, but a nice double whoop allows him to get some healing, but Proflux dashing back on it is going to try and find the kill. Will manage to do so, and Pie Flavor will manage to make it out alive as well. Unfortunate there. Kano just missed the timing of being able to get into that ultimate and carried out by Doom. So, a little bit off the mark there. Spill 2-0 for Full Sail Armada on kills, but over in mid lane, Dark Aura uses the Kraken defensively against Brandon, who uses the ultimate to make sure that he will not die in return, and another invade on this red buff from Proflux. University of Michigan all this aggressiveness that they had is quickly turned against them. It's Full Sail, they're controlling the map very well in this game number 3.
I don't know what Eric was ulting besides the Ghost of Christmas Past, but very strange ultimate there, and another red buff invade going to Proflux. And Proflux is looking to run this game down. Right now, almost a 700 gold lead in favor of Full Sail Armada, and that's just off of a couple kills and then stealing farm away. They're really doing a better job of controlling the map this time, dealing with the aggression that University of Michigan wants to put out. Golden Blade online for both junglers. We see the Warlock staff for Echo, like I said, that was going to happen most likely on this Jing Chen, already stacking. Once they hit full stacks, it's going to be very comfortable. Again, Poseidon with this Doom Orb, very, very similar. X-Ball needs that Transcendence. That should be coming online soon as well. Other than that, Raw's also going Doom Orb, but I am curious to see, will Eric go the new Earrings item for healing? Will we see a Flay Best Hoops? I don't know, but I am curious to see if we do.
Definitely would be interesting to see come online. In the meantime, in solo lane, Proflux has made a little rotation, but with Best of All turning around, knowing that he's there, I'm going to go ahead and look for the blue buff, see if there's any opportunity. See that it's down, come back into the solo lane, and with a nice little slice and dice there, Best of All, and get back under the tier 1 tower. Brandon coming over to help clear the wave, make sure there's no further aggression. Proflux going to rotate back around. Positive Doom, though, getting in an awkward situation because there's now 2 members of Full Sail Armada falling behind him. And they're going to go ahead and take that Greater Scorpion. In the meantime, all 4 members collapse. The Kraken is good. Will the damage be in time? No, it will not. He comes down just in time. The last second, he was so close to falling and just rips the kill away from Full Sail Armada.
Yeah, that was a crazily good time to ult. I really probably should have died there. But now a 3rd red buff invade here. And Brand's looking to get aggressive.
We're going to try. Nice ult, though. Puts Proflux dangerously low. Dark Aura now left all alone as Flavor used the ultimate to bail out the jungler. The mid laner may be the punished one this time. Oh, a nice knockback. Using the wave. A root as well. And what a play. Just defensively, they weren't able to steal away the red buff, but they were able. Oh, Kano. The rotation on the back end punishes Proflux. Pie Flavor now going to fall as well.
Oh, okay, I thought they were going to let the passive reset and then kill him again, to be honest. I was like, that's real BM.
Well, I did too, because I was like, if he comes back, he can escape using the Mez and a root. So I'm glad that nobody let him get back up. That would have been a very awkward dropped kill situation, and I honestly would have been just extremely disappointed.
Yeah, I was really surprised that Kano didn't stay and pick up that kill. To be fair, I think that's what both, Best of All and Doom were looking at. They're like, oh, well, Kano wants the kill, we'll make sure that Kano gets it. And then Kano just kind of walked away. So I think that's part of what happened.
Interesting Kraken.
Yeah, we're cracking in for who knows. But, it happened. That was cool. We do see the same start for Kano on this Freya as we saw game 1 with Hello, the Conduit Gym into Hecate. I expect the next time is kind of where we see a differentiation in build, but we'll see. I would kind of think maybe we see an early ban cross, but without the upgrade this time in that second item slot. But my concern is Dark Aura is not building anti-heal. Instead is going to be building a Warlock Staff second item. And I think they have to get this on sooner rather than later. They cannot go too long without this anti-heal.
Do you remember what I said?
Yep.
In the picks and bans about not building Divine Ruin second?
Yep.
On one of the best gods in the game to spread anti-heal with. I'm very, very disappointed here. I understand wanting the movement speed and the stacking, but I feel like in this situation, you could just go Warlock Staff first, get the stacking sooner, go Divine Ruin, and then go into a Karen's Coin after. Yes, it's another stacking item, but with how these games have been, you're more than likely going to get Karen's Coins fully online at some point and still have good, not just movement speed, but penetration on the item as well. Hopefully Divine Ruin is third at this point. If Divine Ruin is any later than third, I really feel like University of Michigan will have a wide open gap at being able to take full control of this game.
Yeah, it has to be next. I just think like you can't allow this much healing to exist on a team and not buy the anti-heal.
Ooh, that timing was close as Pyromancer just in time secured by Dark Aura with the crack and the snipe coming from Eric. Just a half second too late. Dark Aura falling low, blinking from Brandon. May have applied bleed there. Did as he secures the kill onto Dark Aura. We saw Kano get a solo kill onto Saffron. And Echo now getting aggressed on as the blue buff looks like was not stripped away. Looks like he does manage to walk away without on his around his waist. So full Sail Armada, they get the Pyromancer, but it comes at a pretty good price as well. Gold Fury not going to be the first objective done this time around.
Yeah, I think what's going to be curious here is we already have Proflex building into this Executioner, and I expect it to be a heavy Executioner, and the shred is going to be real, as Echo just griefs and stops the back of Best of All, looking to get some invade off, but isn't going to be able to. Overall, I like the way Full Sail's playing this, even though they're down in kills. They are up in gold.
Best, just back. Just commit to the back, please. You can't keep letting him stall you from so far away. There's a fight breaking out on the left-hand side of the jungle. Saffron will get a return kill onto Kano from the solo kill earlier, and this opens up opportunity for the Gold Fury, and they are shredding it apart. Frenzy is popped. Eric will not be here in time. Kraken goes off. There's time. There is no counter aggression from University of Michigan onto the objective done by Full Sail. They'll find themselves up 2,000 gold as a result. Trebuchet in mid gonna get taken down, so there's no threat to the tier 1 tower any longer. And this minion wave will kind of make another tower, but it's not gonna be a threat as we see Dark Aura make his way around the corner. And these towers in mid are both actually the weakest on the map, which is surprising considering the previous games it was either the solo or the dual lane tower that was always first.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot more fighting in mid this game than game 2. Like, we saw a lot of rotations to duo side game 2 after what happened game 1. But Freya has Hecate hastened, and this is starting to become a problem where if Freya is allowed to play the game, as she already has a lead on Saffron, Kano can run this down. You need anti-heal. I cannot stress this enough. I am hoping the anti-heal is on the way now with these third items coming up as Kano has to ult away. But
yeah, that ult's gonna be very close because Pi just chasing down into the tower. Kano just trying to fight for their life, does not have beads, and there's no ult available from Pi, but it doesn't matter because the branching bolos, Kano standing too close to the tier 1 tower with the help of his support will find the kill onto the Freya ADC. And now Eric backing up a little bit, trying to bring Dark Aura a little bit closer, but Paz Doom not gonna go aggressive here. Instead gonna rotate away as look who it is stealing farm from the jungler. It's gonna be Echo taking away the back Harpy camps, and this is a recognition. Eric's gonna come along as well. They're gonna try and find opportunity to take him out of the picture. Not gonna be able to do so as he leaps away, but best of all, fighting Proflux, having Echo rotate on the back end. This is actually going to bring Prize of Doom to try and help out his Soul Laner. The blink in from Brandon finds a stun onto Proflux, finding himself in danger now as well. Multiple members surrounding him, finding himself low. Brandon will secure the kill. Kraken used off the mark, not doing much damage to anyone on the side of Michigan. And they're going to continue to try to chase Echo, finding himself caught in an awkward situation here. The blind is good, but the leap out even better. Brandon wants to find an opportunity. Whirlwind of Rage and Steel was started, but Eric finishing him off before he can get it fully through. A nice uppercut into the sky goes Eyes of Doom. Brandon with the ultimate, though, will find Dark Aura for a second kill in this engagement. And with 2 members under the tier 1 tower, the mid will fall. Flavor will not be able to get aggressed on by Brandon there, so he's going to walk on out and return to farming in the jungle.
Yeah, that's a huge lead blown for Full Sail. Like, yeah, they still have a lead, but they were like 3,000 gold up, and they risked it all for some back camps. And I'm not sure that was actually the move there. Obviously, they don't lose an absolute ton off of it. They still do have the lead, but that can't feel good to just have your 3,000 gold lead kind of just deducted down to, 500 or so. Overall, I like the way these builds are going. I think it was really important to get Brandon involved. I was getting ready to talk about that, and that's exactly what happened in the last team fight, is Brandon's able to pick up a couple kills, get an assist, and now we see... Oh, no.
Yep. Saffron solos Kano down because Kano at the tier 1 tower line. Minion wave comes up, so he's fighting Saffron on the wave. Unable to find enough lifesteal, as Saffron's lifesteal with Aussie has proven to be more than enough with Transcendence backing that up. Michigan going to take the Oracles, as the Oni Fury is going to be spawning here shortly. Pyromancer, though, going to be done yet again. This time it's going to be sniffed out by Best of All, but will he be in time? Dark Aura does have the Kraken. The snipe comes through off the mark on the time frame. Armada secure the Pyromancer yet again, this time without using the Kraken. Whirlwind of Rage and Steel, it's going to bring Brandon back, surrounded by 4. Will go to Saffron for the kill. They're going to make their way back towards the Fire
No way,
Giant.
right?
They're going to start a 16-minute Fire Giant. University of Michigan is here. So is Kano. Ulta online is Pies of Doom, and best of all, they maybe try to go in range transformation being here, uses the ultimate. Gonna try and find a little bit more chaos. The Fire Giant is low. This is an upgraded Frenzy that's been procced, and Pies of Doom use the ultimate to go in. No one's really hitting it. Full Sail Armada with the Kraken, get a free secure, and now best of all is in trouble. Pie Flavor is in trouble as well. Doom trying to do what he can to get anything going, but University of Michigan, the rest of the team so much further behind. They're trying to find a chase. A goods route. Not able to get the knockup though. A leap, a double whoop though, causes a little bit of a problem. Echo does fall. One member less with Fire Giant, the ultimate, trying to find an opportunity to take Aura out of the picture. Pies of Doom goes through, but unfortunately can no longer chase.
Only one kill goes down there for University of Michigan, and they lost the Fire Giant and so many low health bars on their retreat. Absolutely amazing play by Full Sail Armada to pick up not only the steal there, get the Fire Giant, and only lose one. And it was their solo laner. Your carries, jungle, and support also have fire. That has to feel amazing. You're at a 3,000 gold lead again, like 3,200. Oni Fury's up. That's the next thing on the map you're going to be looking for. And you got it all for the price of free 99. I don't know what to say. It's just a great play there. And I
would say $3.99. I would say $1.99. They did lose their solo laner.
They did, but for the price of Fire Giant, I think it's worth. And they get Oni.
Oh, it's absolutely worth in this situation, especially since Echo can still be very effective, even with very little magical defense online. Best of all, finds himself in an awkward situation. The Kraken allows Saffron to pick up the kill immediately after, and Full Sail Armada are full sail ahead. In this game number 3, 18 minutes in, they're down 1 kill, but they find themselves up nearly 5,000 gold. Looking at closer to 4,300, but I'm sure that's going to spike here soon as they are setting their eyes on this tier 2 tower with Oni minions following behind.
The good news is we're going to see a Pesty for Echo before Divine Ruin, but it's going to be a Mirrodin.
I don't think we're seeing Divine Ruin.
No, we're not going to see Divine Ruin. But this Mirrodin is something I like to talk about because this item's been reworked for a 3rd time, and it now seems to be in a place that mid-raners really, really like. When you cast the ultimate, you get Mirrodin's Rage, and it's going to be feeling really good on Dark Aura.
Why are there 2 Shoguns Kasari on the side of Michigan?
Yeah, I don't know.
One of those should be an Oni.
Yeah, and preferably on the Kuka lane, it needs to be the Oni. I guess you're like, oh, hey, I'm going to build early magical defense. And typically on solos, we see that like Genji's or Oni. The fact that it's a Shogun's is very, very strange. And then for Doom, it makes sense, right? Like you want it on this support. The support's next to the carry often. I am confused. I am confusion.
I feel like it was for the early boxing against Echo, which I can understand.
I get it. But
you shouldn't have 2 on the team.
That comes down to not checking builds and not communicating what's being built either, which are 2 really important things. Great ult there to not get pulled by the washing machine.
Echo actually taking the brunt of that one. So Kano gonna be able to get the kill under the tier 2 tower. And Michigan taking control of this fight early as Doom gonna ult on in, take Brandon with him, gonna bring out the ultimate from him as well. But unfortunately, he took way too much damage. The rest of the team not with them. So full Sail Armada gonna be able to get out free. I'm actually surprised that Dark Aura didn't turn around and crack in anybody, because that ult looks like it came up pretty quickly after that engagement.
Yeah, it's surprising to not see them. I think they could have fought back into it this 4v5. They have fire. It was easy for them to do so. They did get good poke off on the tier 2, so I mean, that's good. It just didn't happen to fall. Looking at this Freya build, like almost the ring's complete. I'm curious to see what the last item's going to be. I'm assuming it should be a Nimble Bancroft. I thought we'd see it a little bit earlier than now. But I think that's going to help start getting this damage online where they need it to be. Raw gets that Spear of Desolation online. Pick up that kill or assist. You're going to get that cooldown. That's going to be feeling good. Kali now has the Silver Branch. You're going to be shred through these prots. University of Mission's comp is coming online, but the question is it going to be soon enough? Or is it going to be too late and Full Sail says, you know, full steam ahead, let's run it down? Which is what they've been doing for the past, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes.
Yep, you're going to pull Pyromancer, get it under half health. A little bit of a challenge coming out of University of Michigan, and Full Sail will still manage to secure it, even with Michigan showing that much of a presence at the Pyromancer. Best of all, doing a little jump party there with Echo. Proflex says, enough of that. I'm going to take you down if you keep just jumping around with my solo laner. Michigan, though, going to regroup, reposition. Do not want to allow a second Fire Giant to go the way of Full Sail Armada for free. So they're going to try and contest this the best they can. Nice little damage there onto Echo. But still just tanky enough that he's not too worried about anything. It's going to be an Ob Shard, it looks like. That fourth item coming out of Dark Aura here. In the meantime, though, this is
pretty good too, especially if it's procs on the Kraken. That's going to feel dope.
Oh, yeah, and we noticed Brandon kind of challenging Proflux on the right side towards solo. Proflux gotten a little behind the team, but he knows he's got the double dash, so he can just kind of walk away unconcerned. Best of all, though, holy shred, Brandon will take down Proflux, but best of all, just got ripped apart by Dark Aura and Saffron, the two of them working closely together. Oh, a nice snipe coming out of Eric to force Dark Aura almost to half health. Saffron takes quite a bit of damage there too. Pie Flavor gonna follow. The passive is procced, but Saffron takes Brandon down. Kano gets Pie Flavor in the passive. Saffron is forced to use Beats and Ages at the same time. Doom just off the mark with the knockup. Slow does a little bit, not enough, however. So with a little bit of healing from Eric, gonna back off and take your 2-for-2 trade. Fire Giant still standing.
Yeah, and University of Michigan have their carries up, so they're going to attempt to pull this. They do need to be worried about Echo teleporting in, which actually just happens. They're not going to be able to pull this. Good whoop to get the disengage going. Saffron is holding close by, though. Just in case they see University of Michigan rotate too far out, they know they can pull, but instead they're going to back, it looks like. And I think this is a good move. You want Saffron to get that crit online, as Dark Aura almost falls there. Oh my god.
Eric hit that, and I thought he was going to call it out and full send. If Dark Aura with that back were to have been picked off because that ult in a chase, that would have been a little devastating for Full Sail, because that the position that would put them in with Fire Giant up would not be good. Although it does look like Saffron may be going over, not just to get this purple buff and possibly clear a wave, but possibly take that Primal Fury, which makes getting Fire Giant a lot easier.
I would like to see them split someone over there with X-Ball so they could go ahead and pick that up, but they know all, at least 4 of University of Michigan are on minions or wards, so I mean, they know they have to have some type of presence over here. But man, would that Primal be really nice for either team right now.
Definitely would be. Waves pushing up on the side lanes, mid lane favoring Full Sail Armada at the moment. 24.5 minutes in, the gold leads 4,000. Towers 3-2. All Phoenixes still standing, and 11-9. The kills are in favor of Michigan, but the objectives have gone completely the way of Full Sail Armada so far this game. They've been playing very smart in terms of decision making when it comes to those. So far, Brandon pushing off to the right side, trying to cause a little chaos. At Sail Armada, they are split up, but they're not so far away that they can't help each other out. University of Michigan taking a very aggressive positioning stance. You almost would think they're completely in the lead with how they're positioning, but Full Sail, their support's going to take quite a bit of damage, go to half health. A snipe coming out of Eric off the mark, does not manage to hit anyone there. And with the use of the ultimate, University of Michigan going to be the ones backing away now, as Best of All still taking a lot more damage than Barriers for Wool. Ready to steal, though, is going to pull Doom into a Kraken Proflux. Going to take him out of the picture. And that is one pick out of this fight. 3 ultimates used to make that happen. And University of Michigan in this 4v5, they're not feeling very confident in staying up. Want to make sure that they're close enough together to help each other out. Fire Giant, though, will be started. And Brandon gonna make his way on the back and try and cut Echo off, who just leaps on over. Eric trying to find any sort of damage with the Sunbeam, just not enough. And with this close engagement from Michigan, Armada, they're gonna drop it, go on in. The uppercut puts Kano into the sky, forces the Aegis as he comes down, and the ultimate. Saffron taking aggressive position, but is gonna turn around as Eric falls low. Brandon takes Proflux out of the picture. The ultimate gets a double kill on the Flavor. He's looking for more, but with Saffron here, it's too much damage for him to handle. Brandon, or Ball, Best of All, I'm sorry, comes on in. Kano will pick Saffron up. Echo having to leap on away, leaving Dark Aura all alone. The Aegis is used, forced out of an awkward position, and Brandon will find another kill onto the mid lane. Poseidon Echo use the Whirlwind of Rage, still trying to save himself, doing a lot of damage to Eric, will actually win the fight. And with the blink from Pies, will finally get the DS side. And the 4 members remaining of University of Michigan will do the Fire Giant and should be able to secure this fairly easily. Hopefully, Best of All and Brandon don't die. And okay, good.
What I want to talk about is something that we generally do not see in Smite games. And that is a gold lead for one team by like 4,000 gold. But then you have the other team with a 3,000 XP lead, which is now drastically shifted. The gold and XP are in favor of University of Michigan right now. But like, that doesn't usually happen where you see such an XP difference and the gold don't go hand in hand. To see such a drastic difference between the two is actually really interesting. It shows that University of Michigan was prioritizing getting the lanes, getting the lane minions, getting some of these camps down, while Sail Armada was focusing these objectives to build a lead, get what they wanted from the buffs of like Primal and things of that nature, looking for those, and build a lead off of Gold Furies and Pyros. So just very interesting to see that being done. But we do have a Pesty online. That's awesome. I do think Sail Armada needs more than that as anti-heal. You can't have just one anti-heal item and expect to win this game. I feel like there has to be someone else with anti-heal. That's to be decided, I guess, as we see a serrated for this Nemesis, who is going to be shredding anybody she has the chance to hit, as University of Michigan get a free Gold Fury. I'd really like to see them pressure towers right now while they have Fire Giant, but that's neither here nor there, I suppose. Other than that, nothing too crazy build-wise. We do see, Soul Reaver finally online for this Raw, going to be shredding the tanks down. And an Odibo to finish out the Kali build is actually pretty interesting, as I wonder if like a Ferocious Executioner would have done more for her build, but I'm not entirely sure.
It may have. It does help with the attack speed, but also helps with that chain lightning, not just in clear, but damaging the enemies, especially considering Kali's ultimate. Odibo's always been a popular item for Kali players, so I like seeing it. Personally, I would normally have built Kinsai and Executioner on Kali, just so you can shred everybody, but that's just me. I can't complain, obviously, about Brandon's build. He's 7-3-3. He's doing absolute work. So there's no room for complaints with anything he's doing. I mean, this tier 2 and right's going to go down. Look at Brandon. Hey, I got a wave here in a minute. Let me go for the Phoenix. He's brought 2 over with him, Proflux and Saffron, making a rotation to make sure he's not able to do anything. The rest of University of Michigan kind of repositioning themselves. Eric does not have the Fire Giant. The rest of the team does. That's only due to the fight that happened earlier. And we got to keep in mind, Sail Armada was up to 3,000 gold. They're down 6,000. The last fight that happened was about almost a 9,000 gold swing overall. This is incredible. University of Michigan, things didn't look good, got it together, got everyone online as the way they need to be, and have started shredding. The question is, will they be able to continue doing that during these Phoenix sieges? Full Sail Armada stacking together the best they can. It's over in the left-hand side of the map. It goes Brandon, and he drags Proflux over with him. University of Michigan, they actually back way off. Instead, they're going to clear the jungle out. And yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm very surprised.
They're having to respond to Brandon wherever he goes. At least one person is, if not more. The fact that you're just going to back off and clear jungle seems very strange to me right now. Obviously, yeah, you want Echo to hit level 20. You want maybe Pie Flavor to go back and upgrade that starter item. But you had the pressure that they couldn't respond to. Or sorry, I really screwed that up. Pie Flavor is on Full Sail Armada. These pies, dude, really messing me up. But like, to back off there when you're nearly full build on everyone on your team, and Full Sail Armada are on 5th items. A couple have like started, one's finished their 6th. You have a huge advantage, and you're just like, all right, see you later. We'll be back after Enhanced Fire, I guess. And this is a huge swing for University of Michigan. They had the XP lead ahead of time. It's now even more in their favor. The gold lead is expansive compared to what, being behind like they were. Now they're going to have to fight over Enhanced Fire. They're going to have to hope things go their way during that fight, because Full Sail Armada aren't so far out of it they can't fight into this. They really need Proflux to stay alive here. He started off doing really well early getting these picks, but has since fallen off, and they need to kill Brandon. If they can get Brandon out of the fight early, then I think they can keep trending that, get more picks, and get fire. But we're just going to have to see how that goes. No anti-heal for the Poseidon at all.
Nope, and once it wasn't being built, that third item, that's kind of what we both agreed would probably happen. In the meantime, Enhanced Fire Giant has spawned. University of Michigan kind of getting it started up, but they're going to quickly drop it. Eric looks like he may have hit Saffron, but was just off the mark on Echo, the lead coming through. And University of Michigan are pushing through. Full Sail Armada, they are just turning around and running. There's not really any kind of return fights. Saffron did use the ultimate to help disengage. Pies of Doom goes in, but all alone. No one on his team joined him as Kraken comes through. Dark Aura will take Doom out of the picture. Flavor falls low, but is able to get far back enough away from the enemy team that he's able to get out safely. Proflux coming back, and Full Sail Armada going to kind of reposition themselves, make sure Michigan are not going to do this Enhanced Fire Giant. They did do it last time with a member down. Pies of Doom, though, 38 seconds on the respawn time. Greater Scorpion will go down, and they're going to do Pyromancer as well. Looks like Enhanced Fire Giant is not the call they want to make quite yet, as Full Sail Armada come back regrouped. They're going to take a more aggressive position here. Oh, a back from Brandon makes this a 3v5 if they decide to take the fight, and Fire Giant will be started. They do have the upgraded frenzy, so that's something you got to keep in mind as they're shredding this part. University of Michigan, the 3 members, doing everything they can to just mess around with Full Sail Armada to pull them off, and they do successfully force them off the Fire Giant. But best of all is going to actually blink on in, go full in on Proflux. Echo going on through, try and help out his jungler as Brandon blink the leap, goes in, gets a double kill with the ultimate. The Kraken hits Brandon but doesn't get the kill. Pie Flavor will go down into the passive. Nice little mez there, but he's going to fall. Kano will take him out of the picture, and just like that, in a moment of seconds, 3 members of Full Sail Armada fall. And University of Michigan, all 5 members are up 2 on their way back, as we see best of all going to go towards this left-hand Phoenix, clear out the minions. And Eric spotting out Dark Aura means it's not going to be that easy to try and steal this away, especially without the Kraken. Not taking too much damage, actually dealing more than received, as Kano is full tanking. The Fire Giant almost falls as well, forced to use the Aegis, has the back, and Dark Aura playing aggressively may find an opportunity for a kill. No, he's going to let it go. Instead, just going to create as much chaos as possible in the Fire Giant pit. And someone finally goes on a nice Aegis to avoid the ult of Eric, who would have otherwise probably gotten him close to death there. And neither team able to pull the Fire Giant.
Yeah, what a strange engagement there. in the sense of holding the fire giant as the carry. I mean, I'm assuming Kano's like, yo, we could shred this, or was shredding it and then realized too late that the tanks walked out. But like, why stay under there when you know the rest of your team's disengaged? Seems a little odd as they try to re-pull it a little bit. The next fight has to be, Full Sail has to do something about Brandon. He cannot be allowed to jump or blink in on top of these carries and just auto-delete them from the game. They have to have Kumba there with the carries, make sure to get that mez off, and then have the damage set up. The problem is obviously is going to be the ult for them, but I think if they take out Brandon, the next part of the team fight's manageable as we saw before. If that doesn't happen, University of Mission picks them all off and runs it down. And that's a scary time, but that's basically what's happening when you have a Kali that's this big in the game.
Yeah, I mean 9-3-3 coming off the Kali, 7-4-4 on the Freya as well, 7-2-3 over there on Saffron. The rest of the team not doing as well, but do have quite a bit of assist on all of them. As Whirlwind of Rage and Steel is going to start this fight off. Doom gets thrown into the back, goes up in the ultimate. It's not enough. The Kraken goes off. Proflux going to get the kill onto Doom. And best of all, taking quite a bit of poke there yet again, has to back away. This Flavor falling low. Nice uppercut hitting Brandon in his ultimate. Not going to allow him to get any kills with that. But Kano takes Proflux out of the picture. Sail Armada on the retreat, trying to find opportunity to get themselves reset. Not allow University of Michigan to freely win this game at this point. Frenzy is going to be popped here as well. They want to do as much return damage as possible. Best of all, getting shredded down. The Phoenix going to help take him out of the picture. Saffron getting the kill credit there. It's now a 4v3. No Fire Giant. Eric using the ultimate, forcing Saffron away. And a leap in from Brandon. Saffron gets a double kill for it. I'm surprised he went in instead of out. Dark Aura going to do his best to try and chase this down. But a whoop from Kano. Oh, wave and some return damage. Oh, but the back end, they don't know. They don't know. Echo is here. Finally turning around, spotting him out. He's going to go for any kind of route. He will find it onto Kano. The ultimate yet again, and the shutdown from Echo.
And Full Sail played that perfectly. They responded to where Brandon's positioning was in the jungle there. They back off, get Brandon to come in. They pick him off. And then they are able to get Kano afterwards after they already got best of all under that Phoenix, who tanked way too much damage. Just a perfectly executed play there where they've got Doom off of these ults twice now in a row, where either with the landing or with the startup, the Horus ult has not been as beneficial as it was in the previous games that we saw it. Really, Full Sail played that, I mean, bar none. I mean, that was just a perfect engagement for them. They're going to have to deal with this right-hand Phoenix, but they now have an enhanced Fire Giant. They've shown that they can fight back into this comp despite being 6,000 gold down. And these builds are finishing out. As soon as these builds finish out, okay, the only thing that matters is like, okay, do you have power pots and 3k pots? Cool if you do, but I mean, like, if you're fighting like that, that doesn't necessarily matter. I think the most interesting thing to kind of touch on is the fact that Kano skipped the going the nimble Bancross that most people go on this Freya and goes for the perfected Rada Tahuti, which is not something we see often. You know, and this is a long passive. Basically get movement speed, and you reduce non-ultimate abilities by 1.5 seconds. It's kind of cracked. I just haven't seen a lot on Freya since it's come out. I've seen it on a couple other gods, and I think that it has to feel good. If Full Sail Armada want to win this game, they need to take another team fight like they just did, getting rid of one of the tanks and getting rid of Brandon, making sure he does not get to play the game. The fact that Brandon ulted and then got taken out by Flavor with the uppercut was the perfect execution that Flavor could have done as a support, and I expect to see that again in this next team fight.
Definitely do. And we see Brandon trying to lurk over in between the Phoenixes at the wall, and it looks like Sail Armada are kind of weary about that side. They're not choosing not to go in yet. They are waiting on a wave to come in, as this is the side that their Phoenix is down, and with that ward placement, Brandon cannot simply go in from behind. It's actually going to say the more less aggressive route and the safer. But this Phoenix is already under half health. This is going to fall, and Brandon goes in onto the backline. Dark Aura falls low, but Saffron and team is there to help take Brandon out of the picture. And with the Phoenix falling, 1 kill. University of Michigan, they just back on up. If they've got gold, they're going to spend it. Otherwise, they're just healing, and Sail Armada complete control of the map at this point. Going to go ahead for this tier 2 in mid. University of Michigan, all they can really do is choose to wait at their Phoenix. You don't want to step up. This tower's gone in just a matter of seconds. There, it looks like they're actually going to try and swing over to this left-hand Phoenix, see if they can find an opportunity to push this up. Would give them a good chance at finding a Fire Giant later on, getting this Phoenix down. And they will. The University of Michigan just late on the rotation over. Phoenix gone for free, no challenge whatsoever. And now you're sitting in a situation of, if you fight, this game may end.
Yeah, I mean, this is just showing the execution by full Sail Armada and what they want to do. That pick onto Brandon really opened up these sieges to be able to take these Phoenixes down. They had to get rid of Brandon. The Collie's down. Okay, cool. We don't have to worry about getting shredded as much as long as we don't get ulted down or killed by this Freya, as Eric is able to pick up a kill on Dark Aura. But Doom ults in, and I'm not sure for what, as Flavor is a little bit off the mark with the root, but otherwise they get the full retreat here, and I think that's perfectly fine. They got 2 Phoenixes down. They got what they wanted out of this Fire Giant. Obviously, they would have liked to have gotten mid, but the base is exposed, and this opens up the option to play back into the game and possibly win as Eric gets another kill, even though they're 3k down.
Yep. Flavor gets picked off there. They finally managed to stop him. They're going to go into this mid Phoenix. See if they can take this down. No Fire Giant or minions. This is going to be very hard to do. Kano and Paiza Doom taking a lot of damage here. They're not going to be able to get that Phoenix down. Barely took any damage in that engagement as all as the 3 remaining members of Full Sail Armada get grouped up together. And Michigan just going in through the jungle, trying to find what they can. They may be looking for this right side Phoenix, but are going to rethink it as Fire Minions have pushed up far on that right-hand side of the map. They do not want to let those minions in for free. They're going to back. They have gold, spend it, and just hopefully talk about whatever they need to do, because these side lanes being down, any push is just really hard unless you're ending the game for Michigan.
Can we talk about Echo's build and how he built Spectral against a team that has no crit? I stared at it for a while, and I keep looking at it. There's no crit, but he has Spectral. I appreciate it, but you know, there's definitely some other items that had to have been a misclick, right? Huge Kraken by Aura that's gonna just might end the game if Brandon doesn't pick up the kills. Brandon is looking for something, find a whole lot of nothing as Saffron and Aura pick up the rest of the kills there. Kano's gonna come in and look for something, gets a little bit, but it's not gonna be enough to save his team the game, I don't think. And Kano goes up in the ult, just trying to survive. Full Sail Armada decide to do the chase down rather than the push down onto the Titan. And Kano will fall here for the Dia side, and that should be it with the death timers. The shortest being 40 seconds.
That is going to be the game, the set. Full Sail Armada, number 9 seed, will take University of Michigan out, which were put as the number 5. And honestly, this game 3 was so back and forth, but the last few fights, Armada took full control, got the Fire Giant, the only enhanced Fire Giant of the game to be taken down. Congratulations to them. They will be moving on to the Collegiate Finals, the Albion Giants League. And you know how you noticed that Spectral?
Yeah, the enemy team didn't have one on their team against crit.
Yeah, against crit.
Yo, shout out Shark Smite, dude. Coming in the chat. Thanks for coming out. Yeah.
That's it's very, because I believe that was the same situation in game 1. No Spectral against the crit.
I just cannot believe that they got away with one anti-heal item. Like, I'm absolutely shocked.
I can because the healing, again, if you're going to bring it during a fight healing to that circle, it's a free Kraken, it's a free Whirlwind of Rage and Steel, and that's what we saw at the end was Whirlwind of Rage and Steel just going in while they're trying to heal, and you're not allowing it to happen. That's pretty much the only reason why no anti-heal on a Poseidon would be okay at that point, is because you have someone just constantly messing with their ability to try and heal. I mean, there was a point where it looked like University of Michigan had taken control and were going to win. And Full Sail Armada, they managed to regroup, gather their thoughts, and just push right back.
Yeah, Full Sail Armada had a huge fight that was lost at Fire, right? And they lose the gold lead that they had, which I think they're about 3,000 gold ahead at that point, and it swings what, like 5,000 in favor to University of Michigan at that point, and
they were like 7,000 gold ahead after taking control.
And they already had the XP lead. University of Michigan was up by 3,000 XP, and then that continues on that whole entire time. I just think that's absolutely a great comeback by Armada. Like, I mean, like, to be able to look at the game and be like, okay, we're already down to Phoenix. We're down, 8,000 XP. We're down 7,000 gold. How are we going to fight back in this game? Who do we need to focus? What do we need to do as a team? And in games like that, where you had things in your hands and then it gets just absolutely taken away from you, to be able to come back and have that discussion shows so much maturity as a team. Because sometimes that happens and everybody gets down, comms kind of just go quiet. That obviously was not the case for full Sail Armada. They showed up and showed why they deserve to be in the finals.
Oh, absolutely. It's any team making it to finals. You have to earn your way there.
Yeah.
No matter what happens in a tournament, you at some point are earning your way there.
And I just think that just shows like so much strength as a team, so much maturity. I think it's just absolutely huge. Awesome games. Huge 3-game set. I'm actually curious about who the other team in finals is. Or are you still in chat? Do you know who the other team is that you guys are playing against? Also, I realized I had music on, I think, that whole entire game on accident because I turned it on for in lobby beforehand when we were just chilling. And I realized music was on at the end of the game, and I am dumb. Yo, that's a lot of wards, and I like to see that. You guys play Alabama? Yo, let's go.
Ooh, Alabama.
It's our week 1 rematch.
Alabama's another one that's been improving.
Yeah, I've casted one of their games last season, I think. And it was a good time to watch. I'm excited for that.
I just want to clear something up. I saw Bright and Nixus were talking about that first item built on the Kukulin.
Yeah.
So even though Shogun's Kasari, yes, can help early, it's not good overall on Kukulin. Oni's first, yes, is true. It's not something you should be going first. It would have been better than Shogun's in this situation, just because, especially building Spirit Robe, the mitigation stacks helps a lot more. If it's cooldown that you're going to be concerned about, Genji's is what you would run. Otherwise, realistically, he should have gone straight into Sov and Glad Shield, because that would have helped with any gank, and the HP 5 and passive that Sov provides would have helped with any early damage from Echo, because you're looking at Conduit Gem early, yes, but you're also looking at he's going into a Warlock staff. The reality is in the long run, Sovereignty, Glad Shield, or even Sovereignty into Oni's after, or even Genji's after, is going to be better than going Shogun's Kasari first. I'm not going to disagree. Oni's first isn't the right item. At the end of the day, though, the long run build, anytime as a tank you're building Spirit Robe, you should almost always have Oni's.
Yeah,
just to help with the mitigation.
I was surprised he didn't sell it late game. Like, I was waiting for him to sell the Shoguns and pick up Oni's.
Oh, that was never going to happen.
But he didn't.
Bright is probably right in the fact that Shogun was built to help stack Rage, so it was never going to be sold.
Oh, 100%. I get why he built it early, right? But I just can't. I don't know. If I'm playing late game as a tank, I'm thinking, man, I want Oni's. I want that damage mitigation. I want to survive longer. Not worry about building, because my rage will be built as long as I'm staying alive in a fight.
Yeah, I think the other mistake that has been made by Michigan is you got to pay attention to builds. Anytime you see anyone start building crit, Spectral has to become a priority.
Yeah.
Even if you're not going to build Thorns, you gotta, as a tank, you have to be able to mitigate that away, because at this point, I mean, he doesn't have kin size, which is very fortunate Saffron didn't build kin size, because kin size with crit against a health build with minimal mitigation and no spectral would have done. Best of all was already being shredded. That's a lot more damage he would have been taking.
Yeah.
So-
I am surprised we didn't see a spectral picked up. I mean, I like the idea of bulwark. That's cool, but like you're getting shredded by this X ball, dude. He went 12-2 and 8. He popped off.
Yes, Saffron came through at the later end of that game.
Yeah.
But,
And
yeah, it's just kind of one of those things, like, we can understand the thought process. At the end of the day, though, it's not the best. So hopefully, like, looking back, they can review that and be like, hey, let's reconsider this for next time. Because honestly, if you're worried about a gank, that's a nemesis. Physical prods are always going to be the better option if when a gank comes in mind. Obviously, unless it's like an Alquang, different story.
yeah, I actually
that's
really
where you
like
go Genjis.
where Proflex started off the game really aggressive and was popping off early, and kind of struggled there for a little bit, and then just, hey, you know what? I'm gonna buy Magi Shelter. That'll fix part of my problems. And
Oh no, yeah, it's always smart later on to sell Golden Blade if possible.
yeah. And I think that was just a smart pickup. You're getting full value, because where does Nemesis want to be? She wants to be diving somebody. Who's going to be next to you? Anybody on your team that's going to also get the shelter proc. Like, it just feels good. It was just a good set. Saffron really popped off 2 of the games, and like that last game really showed out on that X ball. Shout out to both teams. Awesome set to cast.
Yeah, they may have been long games, but they're worth watching the entire time.
And that's the same for the games we did the other night. Like, those games were close as well.
Those games were good.
And speaking of which,
that was a 2-0, I think, wasn't it?
it was the ones the other night where it was a 3-game set.
It was? Okay,
Yeah.
I can't remember.
By the way, chat, if you missed that and you want to go back and watch it, you can watch the VOD, or I edit it and put it up on YouTube.